I sent the wrong first one. Yeah, I did. I sent the wrong one first. I'm sorry. The second one.
Good morning, everyone. And we started the stream out right with Jim Max laughing his ass off.
Damn straight.
I fucked up.
Right, you better say it.
You fucked up. And said.
Oh my goodness!
Don't tell me you sent a dick pic pen.
No. I sent DOA at X3S Nintendo Switch, where they're playing the booty bump game. Accidents.
The booty bump.
I don't know why that was on my. I hit the arrow up and to copy the tweet link on the thing, and it didn't copy for some reason. It copied something else. I don't know, but
oops.
something. But I ended up sending you this right thing afterwards. But oh my god.
Well, hang on. Let me get stuff organized around. Let me open it up. God damn it, Jim Max, I told you not to send me a picture of your fucking dick.
I didn't.
Bullshit, I'm seeing it right here.
And if I did send you a dick pic, you would be in awe. You would be in awe if I sent you a dick pic.
No, I gotta get my microscope hooked up to look at it.
Like I said, you would be in awe.
Oh my god.
You would be like, how in the hell is it that small?
How in the hell can you procreate with that thing?
I didn't.
How in the hell can you even rub two cells together to stimulate it?
Sandpaper.
That's a good one.
Sandpaper. That's how you do it.
Yeah, but one stroke and it's gone.
Yes, exactly. That's how small.
That's why it's like a diamond. Diamond tipped.
Oh.
The diamond in the rough?
Yeah. No, stop.
Oh, wow. So, let's see who all is in chat today. We have 7 people watching. We have a man squatch, a Jacob, a ghost dog, and a pen.
Yes, of course, a pen.
Yeah, but you
the
also
fuck do you think uncivilized bullshit I am? I don't know about, Gem Max, but some of us like to be a little more sophisticated.
Thank you for trying to defend.
It got me hot. Talking about it.
Oh, God. The only bit I hear in the background is like, oh, that was hot talking about it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She adds onto it. Sparky, what a way to start off your show, huh?
Hey, yes, what a way to start off the show. And yes,
we got a Draconid. Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Fire
And
Breather.
Mansquatch. Yes, I did get a haircut. I got my
Mansquatch, it was 3 cells, but muzzle tov. Muzzle tov. Mazel tov. But that good try there. Good try there, sir.
Why are we bringing up Dwarven cities and Skyrim for?
What? I'm gonna smack you. I'm gonna smack you and I'm gonna enjoy every second I do it.
That is a fucking name of a Dwarven city in Skyrim.
Then there must be some really short Jews there. Shorter than Ben Shapiro.
It's probably not pronounced exactly like that.
Do they say oy vey all the time?
Or very,
I took an arrow to the knee, so oy vey.
An Arab to the knee?
Yes, no, not an Arab to the knee, an arrow.
Sounds like you said Arab.
Well,
I'm
actually,
getting old. I can't hear things anymore.
Oh, we've been joined by the one who shall not be named.
I sense a disturbance.
Good morning, Rogue.
He's either pissed or his microphone's not working.
I'm gonna go with the first.
The first way he comes out, it sounds like a fucking mandolin being played.
No, because wait a minute. I take that back. I'd go with the second because you'd hear his breathing. So. There we go.
It's like, why am I here again?
He had to wake up to do this show, and now he's pissed.
Well, he's the lie of the party. He's the lie of the show. He's the man of the plan, the man of the hour.
I have no plan. I have no hour.
Well, he can't come on here and top the sandpaper thing now. So,
No, he can't.
No, he can't. And so that's why he's mad. He's like, God damn, I can't top that.
Top what? It would mean I'd be paying attention to things. I don't pay attention to things.
He doesn't pay attention, so...
Apparently, he does not pay attention to things.
Apparently. You're just not getting hold of that pen?
Hey.
You know him longer than I do.
Yes, I do.
And apparently she doesn't know nothing about me.
No. Apparently not. I know nothing.
She's still guessing. She's still trying to figure it out.
Yep. What is that country he lives in again? I can't remember.
I think
some people call it Kanakistan. Other people call it, why is it a country? Others kind of go, it's not a country. But
I call it Blank Canada.
Yeah, people call it that too. Oh, speaking of blaming Canada, apparently Canada's best decided to take out one of your best.
Oh?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was a little boxing match between Gavin McGinnis and Coppercap.
Gavin can box?
Gavin is a boxer.
Interesting.
Yeah, the things that you don't know. Also, he's heavily tattooed.
I thought Gavin McGinnis was Scottish.
No, he came here to Canada, and then he's down in your neck of the woods. But
I was
regardless,
going to say Irish, but I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't give a shit, honestly.
I
just don't want to meet him in a bar because I'm an old man and he tends to punch them in there.
Actually, he's very likable old man. But yeah, apparently Coppercap decided to box one Gavin, and let's put it this way: the boxing match was a very interesting boxing match.
Did it only last 1 round?
We'll put it very bluntly: the redheaded stepchild fell very quickly to an old man. Yes. Should be seen.
Good.
Should be seen. I mean, this 20-year-old who decided to pick up his boxing gloves and do training and lost a pretty good amount of weight while doing so. Decided in the middle of his training that he throw out a I'm gonna fight you, moment. Something like a certain Indian chief who shall not be named. And apparently, the Canadian, again-ish, decided to, throw down. This time, the American showed up, thank God. And it was a shitty little boxing ring. It was filmed. It was filmed. And unfortunately, again, the American tough guy fell to another Canadian. So.
Well, of course, I'm looking at Gavin McGinnis right now. He looks like a 14-year-old. Why would a 14-year-old fight an older man? I mean, how do you expect this to go? This actually looks like a 13-year-old.
Well, Cab is again, like I said, in his 20s. He decided to, I'm going to do this, and
I'm going to send Sparky, and so they understand what you're talking about, because I don't think they'd understand, and I don't think
care about boxing.
This is
no. This is not about boxing. This is more or less about a person who is an avid social justice warrior, a man who went out of his way to become YouTube famous based off of the factor of a South Park joke, and decided that he wanted to throw down with one alt-right or the new right leader. More of a political thing.
This kid's alt-right? Really?
No. Copper Cab is the your left, your extreme left social justice, and your Gavin is the. I don't think you've got the right one. Let me.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say this kid looks like he's 14 years old.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is the first name. I looked up Gavin McGinnis, and this was the first name that came up.
Wow.
Yeah, have you seen it yet, bro? I'll send it to you in Discord.
Wow.
Let's see why.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of.
Oh god.
This is hilarious.
Well, first off, he didn't spell his name right.
I know. This is what I started typing it in, and this is what I was like, oh, it looked right enough. And,
It looked right enough. Oh my god.
Only in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, Man Squad says to Jim Max, a 14-year-old will fight a grown-up man because Bob. Talking to his father, it's about time I kick your ass. Sounds of Bob teaching his son who's boss.
Cobber Cab. Is that I have no idea.
I thought it was copper.
Copper Cab. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that
Redhead?
little redheaded ginger.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, I know who that is now.
That little red-headed ginger fuck.
I haven't
Okay.
heard that name in a long time.
I haven't heard Copper Cab. Oh my god.
What name? That name or little red-headed ginger fuck?
No,
Gavin is actually a pretty fucking big dude. He works out quite a bit. He may look like he's flabby, but he is not.
Yeah, it's Gavin McGinnis. I'll send you a beautiful little pic of him soon. Give me a second here.
Well, goddamn, Copper's got at least a good 100 pounds on him too.
Well, here, I'll give you his wiki. Just because I'm lazy.
We're looking shit up, folks. Give us a minute.
That's because I'm fucking lazy. Hey, here, he's also on Censor TV. That's an actual website.
At the end of the fight, he's like, "Hold me back, bro. Hold me back."
Well, while that's going on, I'm going to share some pictures that Jim Max did share. Apparently, I have a volcano in the Philippines that's getting ready to go up. Or that is going up.
It is going up. It's a level 4 warning already. That's like it's going to blow any minute at this point.
It almost looks like it looks like Ghidorah lightning. Almost.
I don't think Rogue has that. I'll send that to him as well.
I'm not worried about that operation. It's the Philippines.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
it looks like King Ghidorah's lightning almost.
Uh-huh. It's actually, if you look at one picture, it looks like King Ghidorah has his head sticking out of the cloud. It's really kind of neat. I thought at first, is this from a movie? And I was like, oh no, this is real. Shit. That's cool.
Oh, I think it's this one that you're talking about. Yeah, the last one. The last pic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty damn cool. Sucks for them in the Philippines, but yeah, it looks pretty damn cool. Could you imagine living in a city?
Philippines? I'm sorry, they have a natural disaster almost every 2, maybe 3 years.
Well, it's
Besides the fact that the community is a natural disaster, broken up into 2 separate class systems: an upper class, or should I say, extreme upper class, and a very extreme poor class.
Well, it's either kids stuck in a cave or
Wait, time out. Jacob, if no one has seen Godzilla King of the Monsters yet, I'm sorry. You should have seen it by now.
It's how long? It's been over a year. I mean, that That fucker is now on like you streaming services. Hell, you can probably find it on YouTube somewhere.
At this point, we're halfway to King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah,
And I guess I gotta have Mecha Godzilla in that one.
Yeah, the Mecha Godzilla is a robotic skeleton for the most part.
Well,
It's
that's
not gonna look very good.
Well, that's what That's what Mecha Godzilla was in the original. It was
No,
the
he
original-
wasn't. Sorry, I'm the boy that knows all of his Godzillas, and that wasn't the idea behind Godzilla. Was a fully fledged, what should I say, Mecha Godzilla. It's a fully fledged robot that's controlled by people or aliens.
Not the original. Excuse me. Not.
It's
not
supposed
the
to be
first.
like a Megazord.
Yeah. It wasn't. It wasn't the first Mecha Godzilla. It was like the second one, I think. But they took the skeleton, the original Godzilla, and built around it.
Sorry, Mecha has always been the same kind of design since
Kirum.
its
Kirum. I can't remember his fucking name.
I think
And then Ultraman came about somehow in there.
Yeah, that's because of the fact that he belongs in the same time period, or at least was in the same universe as Godzilla. As well as Gamera is also in the same kind of time frame and universe as Godzilla. So basically, all the kaijus versus kaijus, it's all within the same vein.
Except for Donkey Kong. I mean, King Kong.
Well, Donkey Kong is a whole different country, so we're going to leave that alone. As for King Kong, yeah, no, he belongs in the same vein because of King Kong versus Godzilla. He sticks within his little roots. He likes his little island. He doesn't play well with others. Fits the American ideology altogether. Yeah, you can call him the Donald Trump of the franchise. Well known, well recognized, but the moment he pops his head, everybody shouts "Bad monkey."
Bad monkey.
How dare you touch that woman in their naughty place?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's a trap.
Pretty much. I mean, if anything, King Kong is the founder of Grab Them by the Pussy.
Oh.
Yes.
So it wasn't Donald Trump.
Wow.
Yeah. But he just followed suit. I mean, if King Kong could do it, so can I.
Yeah. But I've seen some of the designs that they had from Mechagodzilla in the upcoming movie. It looks, from a distance, it looks cool and badass, but up close, it looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the kind of
I don't
aesthetic.
know. I'm looking at this at the idea of it may look kind of weird in post, but once you see it on the movies, you'll get it. No, if it looks weird right now, it's going to look even worse in the movies.
Yeah.
Anybody remember those Transformers that Michael Bay popped out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have a Michael Bay version, Mecha Godzilla. Congratulations.
I actually didn't mind the design of them. I actually kind of liked them.
You mean the balls of the one Transformer?
You're talking about
the vagina.
Devastator.
Yeah, Devastator had balls and a vagina at the same time.
Yeah, apparently he did. It was kind of weird. He was able to fuck himself.
Things. Vagina sucked
Okay,
in
so
like
I got straight up question. How they gonna do the height difference between Kong and Godzilla?
Well, basically what they're gonna do is they're gonna say that King Kong is not at his full height when he was in King Kong.
Well, they already said that. They said
I
he's
don't
still
care.
growing.
At the end of the day, that's what they're going to kind of go with.
Yeah.
That's the belief system. Unfortunately, the idea is they made Godzilla too big, and they made King Kong too small, and decided that, you know what, we're going to leave Godzilla the way it is, and we're just going to flub it because, hey, we're writers. We can do whatever we want.
Well, no, they actually had set it up in King Kong where they said Eddie's still growing.
And I know, and that was
40 years ago, so technically
not necessarily 40 years ago, but Like I said,
No,
we're
because
writers. We can fake it.
We
no,
can
well,
fake it till we make
well,
it.
It was King Kong, the last movie. It was set in the Vietnam era. It really was. They even mentioned it going on at the time. We should be in Vietnam. Blah blah blah. But Samuel L. Jackson's character said that, and then it went from there. There were a lot of small, like little things they pointed it out here and there, and la la la, and bullshit this and bullshit that. So yes, but yeah, it's really you're right. It is just a sad flubbing of the storylines, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no. I mean, realistically, I don't think they even foreseen having a King Kong versus Godzilla. Because neither one of them believed that the franchise would be very successful.
Well, again, they did, and that's why they flubbed. That's why they kind of added those lines in there, because at the very end of the movie, they did an after credits thing, and it showed the other monsters. It showed pictures of the other monsters and the monster hunting team crap shit thing that they showed the. It was really, honestly, I hated King Kong, the last one. It just was horrible.
I've actually got to rewatch it.
Did a great job. I feel like the script was just shit.
Yeah, I actually got to rewatch it because I knew that they were gonna be. Afterwards, I knew that King Kong and Godzilla was gonna be tied in together, but I didn't know how deep they tied it in during the show. I actually forgot Monarch was the name of the corporation that one guy was trying to get Whip to go to Skull Island to investigate. And looking back on it, I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. Okay.
Yeah, they were trying to tie it in with the whole Monarch thing, corporation thing, or Monarch organization.
It's Monarch, yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of the organization, but yeah, it was not. And they did that with the first Godzilla as well.
Yeah, the first Godzilla, they had call-ins to it. King Kong, they had slight call-ins here and there to it, but they didn't really get into the actual organization until the second Godzilla movie.
Yeah, the King of Monsters. Yeah, bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
well,
as far as the story, they have a good story there. Just it's execution.
Crap writers. It comes back down to it. They have an interesting premise. Unfortunately,
I mean, remember when writers used to be paid cheap and they created good shit because they
I know,
and now they just write the crappiest shit because they get paid millions of dollars to do it. Now it's just like
nowadays writers that go in, especially education and that, are all being taught that they have to have some form of social justice element in order for them to be successful in Hollywood.
You know what I have to say to that? You know what I have to say to that?
That's being set up for failure.
But they're coming to the conclusion, Hollywood that is, that the social justice element is not as financially acceptable outside of their schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Schoolhouse,
you know what? You know what?
Wait, one Schoolhouse.
Yeah.
You know what would be funny? They tried to redo the show Roots with a social justice aspect.
I would not want to see that. just something about just no.
Schoolhouse Rock. Oh my god, I would love to see a reboot of that.
Speaking of Schoolhouse, they are doing a reboot of Saved by the Bell.
Oh no, I was trying. I forgot about that.
Oh, and they already have their first ever, SJW type character in
Zach Morris,
who's got a mangina.
Zach Morris, he's governor.
So that's going to be interesting. You're going to have your first trans person in the actual group. She'll probably be the love interest because reasons.
No, what it sounds like is by making these reboots, by making these remakes and all this other stuff, is an attempt to is an attempt to rewrite history, basically to say, oh, we didn't know any better. Look at how progressive we are.
Hey, Rogue, remember when Zach got Kelly pregnant?
Yeah, I remember. Now we're going to try to get a trans girl pregnant. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, fuck.
Because you know that can happen.
We're going to try to get a man pregnant. And that's gonna happen.
I know.
But nobody's buying the bullshit anymore.
So see, I guess it's Jose Tota.
Well, we actually have Canada, thanks for that, and their little special cupcake who wants to make rape legalized in Canada, essentially.
I would like to have to see that.
Oh, he wants women to wax his balls.
No, if you're talking about that guy, no one is gonna get him. He's a joke.
I said he. Oh well, he is.
It doesn't matter.
I've got a question. Why
it really doesn't matter if Jessica Janus or whatever you want to go by. He's trying to get whatever small or even in some cases larger doctor firms to grope him in places that he shall not be groped because he's a fat dyke, or should I say wannabe dyke. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, you can get that anywhere. It's been done in the States too. It's just that this one happens to be prolific because of the fact that not only are they a person trying to sue everybody, but they're an SJW founder of a couple of organizations.
All right, time out. Man Squatch brings up a good question, and I actually I'll throw out my answer, and everyone else can too. So, a question for the group: can you think of any trans characters who doesn't introduce themselves by saying "I'm trans" as my braveness? Yes, it's not a character; it's an actual person. Lo-Fi. I known Lo-Fi for over a year before I found out that she was trans, and she doesn't make a big deal about it. And it's like, I can respect that.
But that's just the thing, is it should never be a big deal because nobody should care about that.
Yes.
If you have to introduce yourself with "Hi, my name is," and my pronouns or gender or all that, shush. If you have to do that, that just means that you're superficial and there's nothing else going on for you. That you can't let your actions speak for themselves. You have to automatically put yourself on some invisible pedestal to say, I'm part of this class, therefore you can't criticize me.
Yep.
Well, yes. I'm a trans asshole god, and none of you can. All of you can criticize me because that is...
The only person who can get away with something like that would be Rogue, where, hi, I'm Rogue, and I'm a demon. No. I'm here to fuck your day.
Man Squatch, yes, Lo-Fi is a good person. Rogue. But that's...
And your day is fucked.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, yes, Lo-Fi is a good person, but that's what makes her being trans. I think that should be a role model right there, because these people just want recognition. That's all they want, and they want people to look at them, understand, and respect the fact that they're trans, and they want to go around showcasing it to everyone. So I say nobody wants to see anyone else's fucking dirty laundry for the fucking most part. They don't care if you're trans. They don't care if you're female. They don't care if you're male. Don't fucking go around berating it around.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up, Sparky, because technically everyone in this group is kind of trans. Because we got you, the Megabot, the Demon, Rogue, and Pen the Jew. And then me, the God Asshole.
All right, no.
Okay.
So if it comes
up, sorry. When it comes down to trans actors or trans individual, there are a few out there that don't make it a big deal. For example, Chaz Bono is your actor from the Bono family. Right now, he is in the American Horror Story. You have your Wachowski brothers who went from male to female.
Michael Jackson, he never made a big deal about it. I mean,
yeah,
we all knew he was trying to look like Janet.
Well, of course. You've got Candace Cain. You've got Jazz Jennings, who is the actual first one to make it a big hype thing, because again, it's more promotional. So yeah, when it comes down to the actors, for the most part, unless they make it a big song and dance, like Ella DeGeneres did when she came out of the closet as a lesbian back in the 90s, no one really cares. And no one really should care.
No one should care about your private life. And that's the thing. These people want their private lives out in the fucking open. And I don't understand how people can be like that. My private life is my fucking private life. That is my life. That is a life that I'm not going to share to anyone behind closed doors like with you guys in voice chats or live on fucking stream.
Oh shit, I forgot to start recording this like I do all the other sessions. So that I make sure that I have evidence against you.
It's being streamed.
Sorry, my soundboard's not working. I don't.
It's fine. I'm not heavily addicted to my soundboard, unlike on other people that we shall know. We shall not.
I was going through looking for updates. And the sound pad was
Hello, my name is Sparky.
Hello, my name is Sparky, and I'm addicted to SoundPad.
2,500 hours on soundboard.
God damn.
Oh no! Let me pull it up. I think.
Oh, it's somewhere. I try not to pull it out. I mean,
it's kind of like Gen Max. I gotta find a fucking microscope to find it.
Oh, that's pitiful. 20 hours of usage.
368 hours.
Let's see. What are you?
Yes, Jacob. The deal behind Ella DeGeneres, she came out of the closet on the basis in order for her to save her TV show back in the day, which only lasted for about 3 months, and it was still taken off air. So yeah.
There you go. 2,530 hours.
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
And I just leave it open. I just leave it open. My computer be on, and I just got it running in the background. I don't shut it down.
Yeah, that sounds like every meth addict ever. I just leave it there. I'm not really using it. Oh.
We need to change the one drugs, please, to one soundboard, please.
One drugs, please.
Hey, can we stop by a place real fast? One drugs, please.
My man.
I'll take some angel dust.
So I've been playing a bit of Minion Master.
Minion Master.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I have that picture. Let me look. Find that one. Fucking. And here's another one of the weather in my area.
Your weather in your area is fucked. That's all I can say.
It's fucking
something wrong with
ADHD.
you. It's fine.
The weather for the last 2 days came in drunk, going, where the fuck do I need to go?
Where the fuck are my socks?
Because
I can't even
got a nice
socks, and I can't find my goddamn socks.
I got a nice little smorgasbord here to the west. We got one winter weather advisory. In the middle, we have a severe thunderstorm watch. And to the north of that, we got a winter storm warning. Below that, we have a tornado watch. And to the far east, we have flash flood watches.
You know, if you were in the center core of the flash, flood, tornado, and winter storm, that'd be hilarious.
Right here.
Well,
Right
I
here's
already
why I
sent
love
my
it.
goodbyes
Well,
to
this
you,
little
Sparky,
49
and,
sign this in the
Tuesday.
northeast part of Oklahoma. That's where I'm at. So I'm right smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, I saw that.
But if you were like smack dab in the middle of, let's say, those three different, color schemes there, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, my
You
mouse.
would have at least a winter flash flood tornado storm.
Well, right now I've got a severe thunderstorm, tornado, winter storm.
No, that's just
It's been a weird 3 fucking days down here.
So you don't know whether you should be evacuating or sticking around. I would say evacuate your bowels and just call it a day.
I gave up.
Sparky, at least you no longer live in that trailer. I mean,
no, yeah, I'm out of the flood zone. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're not going to be washed away one night.
But no, I woke up Friday. I woke up Friday, and it was sunny, and it was 60 degrees outside. It was a really nice fucking day. So as the day progressed on, it started getting really bad. Winds picked up, thunderstorms hit, just downpouring. It stopped, it got up to about 70 degrees, started raining again, and within an hour, dropped from 70 degrees down to fucking 28 degrees. And then it started
you
snowing.
need a black weatherman. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Just
Then
hire
it
a black
started
weatherman to ask the weather questions.
Yeah. Then it started snowing and sleeting and raining. It'd be like a mix. It'd snow 1 minute, then it'd sleet 1 minute, and then it'd fucking rain the next, and just go back and forth. And while that was doing it, it was thunder and lightning.
Was it very, very frightening?
No. There was no Galileo.
Oh, come on. That would have been fun and exciting. A little bit of Galileo.
Yeah. Who knows? But no, that's what I've been dealing with. And I had to make a trip yesterday to do some stuff that incorporated me going Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And that sucked.
Did it? Did it suck?
Yes, it did.
Did it suck?
Yep. So what was everyone else's week? What did you
The
guys
week was
do?
fine. I pretended to do stuff, which was awesome.
When do you
And
not
I'm
pretend
here.
to do stuff?
Which kind of tells you a lot.
Jesus Christ, Rogue. You could be a little nicer about it.
Ellen was
I think that was pretty nice. I mean, honestly.
Ellen was just as successful as Rosie O'Donnell. Not very.
Rosie O'Donnell's success was based off of her love for Tom Cruise.
Not the avoidance of Weight Watchers.
Well, anybody can avoid Weight Watchers. It's been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Look at Oprah.
I don't want to look at Oprah.
Most people would.
Oprah,
she could be the next president of the United States in the black class edition.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I know.
I mean, saying it's not possible, but like in the percentiles, it's like so low. Hillary has a better chance of becoming president than Oprah.
Yeah. Well, Phil, I understand that, and I can see that too. You can see the HJW phenomenon in movies back in the 80s and in the 90s, but it's not that it wasn't being talked about constantly, it's they just didn't fucking make a big deal about it.
Well, let's see. SJW, or at least social point of view or perspective, is not really rare in movies. It's always there. Problem is the social narrative is based on the story itself. For example, Aliens has got a different social narrative. I know, surprise, shocking. Aliens has a social narrative. It does. But again, it's not prominent because of the fact that it's within the actual story.
In Aliens, men can have babies pop out of their chest.
No. Well, I think he's talking about the second movie, Aliens. And I think he's talking about with the Colonial Marines, with first guest, and with the character Ripley also.
Yeah.
And Alien VP.
Well, also in Alien, you have a business class trying to corner a certain degree, but you don't know that until Aliens. The second one, where you can see the actual operation. That is a social narrative. Also, in RoboCop, you also have the classic RoboCop also has its social narrative as well. Yeah. And then you have people like Judge Dredd, big in the comic book world, brought into the Hollywood vein of class systems, where law in that is the overarching class. So yeah, there was a social narrative. Like I said before, it was intermixed with the actual story. You didn't notice it heavily. Whereas, for example, the current movie of let's say the Black Christmas, the social narrative is the overarching demon there, and then everything else is secondary. Let's see here. The first time I've heard the phrase social justice was around 2000. No, actually, the first time that anybody used the phrase of social justice would have been back in the day of the 60s.
Yes.
Cameron tried to make Alien a veteran metaphor. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Basically, it was a combination of consumerism and or should I say, corporatism in war. How the under a great corporate overlord, you guys engaged in war for whatever reason. Hey, look what's happening now.
And I can see that same metaphor that they use in Aliens, and stuff like that. You can see that in Halo in the game, actually, with Oni and the UNSC and stuff like that. Because whenever I played through the Halo games, and I got to that point, it reminded me heavily of like Aliens, so just how the story background setup was for the between Weyland Yutanis and just the people who worked for them.
Sorry.
If anyone here has seen the same kind of, seen the same thing I've seen.
That's unfortunate the way how it is, and most, like I said, don't even recognize it very quickly until it's thrusted into their face.
Well, that's
I said thrusting.
Well, all right, so,
They deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Thank you.
Basically, that's the end point on that.
yeah. Well, you were talking a little bit about the Dragon Prince 2 weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. And about how it had, social justice narratives put throughout the whole entire show. I guess my perspective on it is I noticed them, but I don't think they make a big deal out of it. And because of the fact that they don't make a big fucking deal about it, I don't care.
They don't make a big deal out of it, but they do throw it in your face.
Well, okay, so seeing a male couple kiss, or two females kiss, or anything, I don't care. Whatever. It's not like they're doing it every fucking episode.
It kind of reminds. Okay, the separation between your particular anime that you're talking about and say like Voltron is it's called queer baiting.
Now that one, Voltron, I think, was thrown in your face.
No, actually, Voltron was part of the queer baiting. Basically, the idea is to get a certain degree of community within your back pocket for favor, while
they
not
didn't push
giving them
they didn't push the narrative until like the last 3 seasons, and then they threw it in your fucking face.
Yeah, and then they threw it in your and the last episode to Voltron, that was a big fuck you.
And that's what everybody was like, you assholes. No. And that
it's like with the princess. She had spoilers. Anyone hasn't seen Voltron? Spoilers.
Me.
Well, you know right now.
But you're not missing anything.
You're not missing. So the last episode
went downhill.
Yeah, so the last episode of Voltron gets this big anticlimactic build up. So Lance and the princess found out they have feelings for each other and, wanting to get together. But also come to find out, in order to stop what Hagar did, she has to sacrifice herself. And she ends up sacrificing herself. And at the very end of the big ending to that whole fucking deal was Shiro getting married to a guy. That was
them making out like there's no tomorrow, and no one cared. I don't really care about that. It was just like that's your big ending. You're gonna let you're not gonna let you. How many times did they kill Shira? I mean, like 4 times, but he keeps coming back because he's special. But we killed the princess off once, and fuck her, she dead.
And I didn't even mind some of the aspects that they put in, like with Pidge being a cross-dresser and stuff like that. Well,
I thought Pidge was just a girl.
Huh?
Pidge was just a girl.
But Pidge ended up changing her identity to be able to get in with the Galaxy Garrison, so she could.
I didn't care about that. That was
I thought that was a unique twist to it.
I thought that. Yeah, I actually thought that was. Well, I always thought Pidge was a girl in the the original. I just. I didn't know. I always thought it was a girl anyways.
No, but Pidge was always a guy. They turned her a girl in this one, and I actually didn't mind that one. Because it actually fit.
No, I didn't really care about that. But there were certain elements where they took and they did kind of just like I said, after about the 3rd or 4th season, it just went downhill anyways.
Yeah.
So I stopped kind of watching or caring at that point because like you killed off the main bad guy and like the plot fell apart after they killed the main bad guy. All right,
so when they killed
was it Voltor?
Lotor. When they killed Lotor.
Yeah. The plot fell apart.
Yeah.
The whole thing fell apart and they blew their load too quickly. And they realized that, and that's why they kept on trying to make Lotor the baddie, and everybody was like, Lotor was always a little bitch. No one really cared about Lotor.
Man Squatch has got a good point. I do see that as a big plot hole. It's like, how did she pass the physical?
Oh, surgery.
No, she didn't have surgery.
Holograms. I don't know. They have dildos.
Katie was still Katie. The only thing she did was put on male clothing and change her name. That was it.
She put on a like prosthetic during the physical. There you go. I mean, it's the future. They'll figure something out.
I don't know.
She put a real snake in there. Who knows? I mean, there were so many plot holes. They covered up so many plot holes so poorly. They could have just done that, and no one would have fucking cared at that point.
But no, that is a good point. That is a good point, man, Squatch. I didn't even think about that one.
No, you know what? I take it back. I know how they did it. I know how I know how to fix that plot hole. Money. The answer to everything. Money.
What?
Pay them off.
Yeah.
Bribery. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, there you go. That plot hole's fixed.
Yeah. But no, with Voltron, it's kind of a mixed bag for me. I liked half of the story plot that they had. I liked half of the character backgrounds, like with Keith. I liked the character background that they made with Keith. Same with Lance, Hunk, and even Pidge. I don't really like the way they took the Altean race. That was just jarring to me, including with the character change they did to I can't remember his name now. The butler. It's supposed to be the servant to a princess.
I know you're talking about.
I didn't like. It was quirky. I'll admit that one. It was a good portrayal of a really off the wall character. And when it came down to it, he could be serious, but that's not how the original character was from the beginning. He was really laid back, monotoned, and good, informative, and stuff like that. It's just the character change was just jarring to me on that one.
He was reserved. In the original, he was reserved. In this one, he was just
Karan. Yes, Karan.
Karan. It was who it was. Karan in this one. Well, the thing is, in the actual original Voltron, they weren't Alteans. They were actually originally in the Japanese version other humans on Earth in a future horrific wasteland of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't actually a different planet originally. It was actually Earth, and
No,
they
it was a
decided
different.
that
It
they
was.
didn't want-
It
when
was
came-
a different planet.
No, it was Earth. Originally, it was Earth. That it was a waste. Earth had been devastated by a war. The only survivor was the cat. Was the princess and whatchamacallit. And I don't remember the whole way they made it work together. But when it came to America, they changed the storyline.
Okay,
Hell,
I get what you're talking about. It's localizations that changed. All right.
Localization synchronization is what it was, and basically they changed the story for America. But over in Japan, the Voltron group was actually a soccer team and not part of a military group. That's why it shows them playing soccer in the outro or intro. I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember if it was the outro, but it would always show them playing soccer. And that's why they were a soccer team. They weren't. It's really messed up. Originally, they weren't military at all.
Yeah, I do have to say, in the beginning of what was it, season 4? Yeah, it was the beginning of season 4 where they just got back to Earth, the new Voltron. I gotta say, I like the callback to the original show.
Yeah,
I gotta say that was a nice touch.
I don't know.
You don't know,
but
what do you mean?
Honestly, we are talking about something that came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, no, the callback that they had was, so they returned back to Earth, and it shows Katie there just watching TV. And I guess because that they came back and liberated Earth from the alien invaders. They I guess they cobbled together a TV show in recognition of them, and it was the original Voltron. What they were watching, what they did for them, and it was like, I thought it was a good callback.
You know what really peeved me off about Voltron is they couldn't decide who was going to pilot what lion at any damn time. I was like, okay, I understand what you're trying to show here, but at the same time, you're really screwing up the story.
You see, and that's one of the
At
things.
the end of the day, all I want to know who piloted the pink lion.
Yeah. Well,
There
see,
was
and
no
that's the
pink
thing. They never did that in the original. In the original, Keith piloted the black lion, Lance piloted the red lion, Hunk the yellow, Pidge the green, and the blue one's the only one that had a character search off because of the fact of Sven. His name was Sven. Ended up getting taken out by Hagar. And I can't remember if they killed him off or if something happened to him and he couldn't pilot the lion. I can't remember. But the princess ended up having to take over as the pilot. And when they did this one, it's like, okay, here's this new character, Shiro. He's the pilot of the black lion. Keith's the pilot of the red lion. Lance's the pilot of the blue lion. It's like, that was never a thing.
I don't know. I just go by the old Gold Lion team, which had Chief, Quiet, Moody, Hothead, and Shorty. By the way, I know nothing. That's an 84 thing. I know nothing.
It wasn't even 84. It was like 70s, wasn't it?
No, actually, it came out in 84. The Gold Lion team came out in 84.
Oh, okay.
I swore the original. It was supposed to be set in the year 1999. I know, that dreaded year, but you had no. It was actually because our release was 84. Their release would have been, I think, 81, 82, somewhere there. It doesn't matter. But our release of the dubs came out in 84.
I guess that show was older than that, but okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was based off of young youth controlling these lions, hence for the Gold Lion team. Was it very popular? Not per se. Eventually became a
soccer ball
big,
team. Oh, and their coach that died.
Yeah.
Shiro is essentially, I think Shiro was the coach and he died. That's why he was in the Black Lion originally, and then.
This is where it gets kind of tricky because if you're going with the original Japanese versus the redubbed American, or at least Western, The person who led was a young man known as Chief in the Japanese one. He wasn't a coach; he was again another player. So you're probably an outsider, like the Allies. You're thinking of?
Yeah, maybe. I don't even really.
It's been a while. It's been like
I
said, roughly about 84. Well, 80 to 84, somewhere in that time frame. That's a pretty long time. We're in what, 2020? I'm surprised you remember who you are.
Yeah, that's the Me too. I mean, no, not young anymore. Let's see, the original Voltron. Well, America was 1984. Well, no, 1985 when it originally came out in the U.S.
Okay.
But let's see. I think it will say here 1980 when it came out in Japan.
There you go.
From days of
So 1984, 1985. Oh no, it's the original run in U.S. was 1984 to 1985.
That's a not very long run. That tells you right there.
And it wasn't
catch on.
And it wasn't even the original. Well, no, they played all 52 episodes. There were 52 episodes.
52. It would be 52 episodes.
But it wasn't even the one they were like, we want the one with the transforming robots into a giant robot. And
long
there
ago,
were like several at the time, and they accidentally sent them Voltron. And that's how we got Voltron. We weren't even really supposed to get it. It was a different one. I think it was the multiple car one, or another one that was Giant Robo.
I think it was Giant Robo. I think that's what we were supposed to get.
And
I actually want to see Giant Robo.
The original Giant Robo was really good, and they wouldn't have had to do too much with it. But they wouldn't have had to edit it as bad as or change the story as much. But they ended up doing that with Voltron for some reason or another.
Voltron itself had a lot of different Japanese more.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, soccer was big in Japan at the time. Here in America, what the hell, soccer?
So they had to make a lot of changes. So I mean, we're the Giant Robo, which eventually came out in the United States. That was, I think, their goal too, because that was more or less a political sabotage, I guess, kind of like James Bond, but with robot.
Oh wow, there were actually 124 episodes, and we only got 52 of them. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's what I said. That first run didn't last. It wasn't very successful.
I would like to see the. Oh God, I wish I could. There's a lot of episodes I gotta go back and see. If I can find them, God knows.
It's the second one, I believe, that became a little bit more remembered because it's in the 90s and that, as well as you end up with the toys. I mean, the toys that came out in '84 for Matchbox that kind of helped, but kept it in
memory. Well, the toys were actually really cool when you could actually assemble it. But
and it was about 6 figures. What is it? 6-inch figures of the Voltron robot, which made it more affordable overall. Because again,
well, the problem is half the time the robot, the lions wouldn't fit onto each other the way they were supposed to.
Yeah.
And because I had a friend who had 2 of them, and they had to take the different. They had to make sure they had put certain ones together in order for it to stay together, because each individual, like if you got one green lion and another green lion, they fit differently to another Voltron piece.
Yeah,
they did not. It was really, really shoddy assembly.
Well, that's because of the factor you got to keep in mind when you have the leg components. You're not really focusing because they all look alike almost. Because the 2 arm components look exactly like with each other, except for this a model skin change. Same thing with the.
What?
My fault.
Okay.
I'm sitting here trying to add songs. I accidentally hit the play button.
So when you get the blue and lion, blue and green? No, blue and yellow were the arms. Green and red were usually the legs. Usually, what happened is either swapped them, like the back end piece, because again, the build is exactly the same until you get to either the midsection for the arms or for the legs.
I actually heard from a friend later on that they had two different factories.
Yeah, they did.
They were using different materials, in which case, when they would cool, they would shrink differently.
Yeah.
And they would all be in the same packaging.
That's a standard. That's a standard, unfortunately.
I mean, and that was the problem. And now when they do stuff like this, they actually do it right. But it was very common back then in the 80s because.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it where a blue line acted as a leg. I mean, there's a like I said, packaging for them. It's all inclusive. You get all these, these parts. You figure out how to put it together. So if you're an avid collector, you want to have Voltron, you better hope like hell you have the right pieces.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna have a very uniquely looking Voltron.
Yeah. Voltron was an interesting toy back in the day.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, that's what I was doing. Is I was downloading the theme songs, but I ended up getting 2 theme songs.
Did you get 84's version of it? Because
yes, I did. Yes, I did. Here we go.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend. The legend of Voltron, defender of the universe. Optimus Prime. Love.
I always expected Voltron's voice to be like
as Voltron's legend grew, peace settled across the galaxy.
He had a voice.
On planet Earth, a galaxy alliance was formed. Together with the good planets of the solar system, they maintained peace throughout the universe.
He did.
Actually,
a new horrible menace threatened the galaxy. Voltron was needed once more. This is the story of the super force of space explorers.
Go Lions!
Specially trained
same time.
and sent by the Alliance.
Maybe a month earlier.
He was a busy man. We'll put it that way.
Voltron, defender of the universe.
Oh no! Okay. Here's an interesting fact.
He
Transformers came out the week after Voltron.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. Whenever they were, because he did an interview, and this was actually his first voice acting for a show. Was the intro, and he had such a riveting voice. They decided to ask him, "Hey, would you try out for these voices?" And he ended up, I can't remember which one it was. It was like Hot Rod, or not Hot Rod. It was Rodimus or something else. He was going to be the voice for, and then they changed it up. And it's like, try voicing this character, and that's how he ended up getting the character for Optimus.
What was it? Basically, but no, if you look at Starhawks, Thundercats, Transformers,
You mean Silverhawks?
Voltron, the voice actors were the voice stages and actors were literally like, all on the same on lots that were right next to each other, and they would just walk across it, did their lines, the street, or across the parkway, or
well, I mean, this is what
this
is what the voice actor for Optimus. That's what he said in an interview.
Yeah. That's what I heard. So
maybe it was Megatron, Jacob. I can't remember, but he never was originally supposed to voice Optimus. It was another character, and then they ended up changing it because the way his tone was in his voice.
But it was quite funny. These were literally a week apart from their air dates.
Yeah.
So I know also he also did other voices for other cartoons as well.
I can't
that was
remember.
an interesting time for
I can't
voice
remember
actors
what
in
else.
America specifically.
Yeah, I can't remember. What
Did
other
you
voices
know
he
that
did.
Optimus Prime met Ronald Reagan?
That is
It
a
is true.
possibility. That actually is a possibility.
No, actually, it's true. It's true. And in the Transformers, the UK version, Optimus Prime meets up with Ronald Reagan.
Well, you know, a whole bunch of jelly beans and, and a lot of Coke later.
Nancy and I, we decided to go over to this place called China.
But I want to shift gears, and let's talk about like old '80s intros.
All right, so when it comes down to a person like Peter Cullen, he's pretty awesome.
Do you have the Silverhawks intro?
I actually did.
have
That was
Silverhawks
actually
cartoon.
that was the second.
I was going to ask you about that.
That's the second one, and I actually like that one. That's why I was going to switch gears up, but we'll finish what Rogue was talking about.
Yeah, but you do realize that he's Canadian, right? And the man behind the voice of Optimus Prime, Eeyore, Carr from Knight Rider, Monterey Jack from Chip and Dale, and a few others.
Chip and Dale.
So
Sorry.
you're responsible for the furry fetish, then? Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
the furry fetish is always
No, it's Canada. It's Canada's fault. Blame Canada.
Of course, it's always blame Canada. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier.
But yeah, but I kind of
It was no. You gotta ask yourself: was it really Chippendales or was it SWAT Cats?
No, it was Chip and Dale.
SWAT Cats, Chippendales, and one other cartoon. Babs Bunny from
he was King Alastor and the Lion for the version that they had out in the 80s. He was in the Saber Rider. He is also in Star Sheriff. He was, as I mentioned before, Eeyore in the Winnie the Pooh franchise for a while. He was Carr in Knight Rider, if anybody remembers that. He was in Dino Riders. He played Xandar in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
He was in the Pirates of Dark Water, which I have kicking around.
Xandar or Sartan?
Same here.
It would have been Xandar.
I thought it was Zartan, but okay.
They keep in mind that because they're twins, he could have been playing both. Who the fuck cares?
Oh god, yeah. So yeah.
He was also he was the announcer for Toonami. He's been a very busy boy.
He is. Yeah, you got a voice like that. You use it.
Yeah, not bad for a French Canadian. I think the only one I can actually say it's very successful.
So that was
recognized. His brother, on the other hand, he enlisted in the stateside army.
Your army or ours?
Your army.
Well, you say stateside. I'm like, yeah, that's
American is states. Up here is provinces.
No, well, when you say stateside, I'm like, because you have stateside deployment and then you have foreign deployment.
Well, I see what Rogue is saying.
As a captain in the United States Marine.
No, I get what you're saying now, but it's just like when you said that, I was like, what?
Different terminology.
Yeah, see, different terminologies altogether. Like I said before, I know very limited of what you guys have to do with military and all that, but a bunch of Canadians have gone to the States to join their army, as in your army, the United States Army.
Well, actually, we've actually joined your army too before. So we've had many during World War II and one. So because we didn't immediately join the war.
Yeah.
So vice versa.
What are you doing over there, Sparks?
An opening for a TV show somewhere along the line?
It should be.
Okay.
Oh, down Periscope?
Okay.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
That was the ending for Down Periscope.
The down Periscope. That's what I asked.
Yeah, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo were on the Transformers back in the day.
Shaggy.
They did a lot of crossovers.
God, yeah, Shaggy and Scooby were in the Transformers, like the voices. I mean, of course, that would be.
Well, keep in mind there was a lot of crossovers because the Transformers are in the same universe as the GI Joe.
Really?
Yes.
I never saw those cross. That would have been an interesting episode.
They did eventually do the crossover in the comic books, putting them both in the same universe. But the weird thing is, the Autobots joined Cobra, and GI Joe had the Decepticons for a while.
How that's actually kind of fascinating. I would love to see that episode.
Transformers had a lot of weird fucking crossovers. Like,
that would be, no, but that would be fascinating.
Is because of the factor that Megatron conned the Joes in believing that they were the good guys, and Cobra conned the Autobots thinking that they were the good guys. That's how it worked. It was two cons. On the bad guy side that actually, duped the good guys. So that's how
fascinating. I like that.
I know. So it was kind of interesting to see Bumblebee with the logo for not only the Autobots but for the Cobra, hanging out with Cobra commanders and a few others. Think about that, Bumblebee.
Oh God.
Can you imagine, like, what's his name? Cobra Commander saying, Bumblebee!
Bumblebee.
He also does the hissing thing every now and then because he had that hissing thing for his list.
Well, there was a comic that somebody showed me, and it was a different adaptation for Transformers, and I'll recommend. Do not read or look at that comic because it will fucking scar you. And I can't even fucking remember the fucking name of it, but it was weird as fuck.
Now I know Silverhawks and Thundercats had a crossover.
Well, keep in mind that there was a ocean version of it, there was a space version, and then Thundercats. They all belong to the same universe. So, there was going to be a crossover.
There was a lot of weird crossovers in Japan, and that we never got here in America, which would have been just fascinating to have. I mean, they would have been horrible, I imagine, but it would have been fascinating to see.
Well, speaking of which, I've got the intro for Silverhawks. People want me.
All I can remember is the 2004 movie, the thriller action Silverhawks. I don't know why. It's just
I never saw that.
I never seen that.
It's an averagely decent film, I guess.
Wow.
It was budgeted roughly about 15 million. It only made 3.4 million.
I heard about the rumors, but I never actually knew it was actually made.
Yeah, they made it. It was decent. It wasn't great. It was like I'll give it a mixed bag. It was
C-class actors or D?
I believe it was mostly C. It was Hong Kong. It was done. It was the Hong Kong actors in that. So
okay, that's.
It was decent. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was huge. I mean,
I did hear about this. I just
Richie Jen. Was it Michelle Yao? Yeah, I think it was Michelle Yao.
This was Silverhawk, not Silverhawk.
Time out. Jacob,
Jacob,
I believe it was called. I think it was called Kiss Players. I think it was. It's a weird ass. It's just.
Ooh.
Do not even fucking read it. It's fucking cringy as fuck.
The only thing I can say there, Jacob, is Sparky would make a very bad Megatron, though he'd make a really good Starscream.
Okay, Rogue, I'm gonna fix you on this. This was called Silverhawk, and it wasn't really about the Silverhawks.
No. It's I know that, but like I said before, the only thing I remember was anytime that people mentioned Silverhawk, I remember the movie Silverhawks.
Well,
asshole.
Well,
I
I
did
mean,
mention that. It's like,
the
it's like,
only
I remember
thing.
Silver Hawks. I have a hard time remembering the TV or like the animated series that they had. I know they all. That's why I said there was a space version, the Thundercats, and then there was a sea teen version. They all belong in the same universe, and I have a hard time remembering anything beyond Thundercats.
Let me refresh your memory.
Well, the only
everybody else is here. If I can find a picture of it.
And the only kind of decent Thundercats would have been the 2000 version. At least they gave you a different spin, putting things in the proper order.
2011.
Yeah, which will give you a
I
better.
actually liked
One,
that
it gives you a
one.
better tail.
I liked
Two,
that one. The storyline
it
was
does
good.
fit within the universe that they did create in the 80s. Better. And you can see crossovers happening because you are taking the Thundercats and you're expanding their universe. That would have been great to see in the 2011 version, introducing the Silverhawks team, as well as whatever that C team that they had there for a while. I've got to find out that C team.
You know,
The Underwater team.
here's what I don't get. So the 2011 Thundercats, I thought was really well done. It looked like it could have been a really decent reboot to the Thundercats, but it got shelved, and now we have Thundercats Go.
I know the reason of why.
Merchandise.
No. I know the reason of why. Reason of why is cost. The cost for the actual Thundercats in 2011 also being within a vein that's not acceptable for children under the age of 8. They shelved that bad boy because of the factor, like I said before, it was costly for them to make, and they were incapable of serving or at least being able to push out the merchandise for certain generations. They were only able to market towards the 16 and above. They couldn't go below the age of 16, which is what they wanted to market to. Because that's where your biggest consumer of the merch, as well as able to so that had to shelf. Then they kind of gave that project to another person who is in the same goddamn vein of Steven Universe and that kind of animation, which is very acceptable for children. Teen
Not
Titans
to
Go,
mention really quick to
yeah,
reproduce.
it's really cheap. It's really cheap. So
yeah, and it shows.
Yeah, it's really cheap cost. It's very simplistic script line. It's not an episodic. They're standalones. It's easy to produce, and for anybody to get involved with it at a younger age, they don't have to start from the beginning and then try to figure it out from there.
Well, to be fair, the non-episodic works well when done right. Look at Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but again, Looney Tunes is cheap to produce. And that's where the ultimate end game of any animation is going to be. It doesn't matter if it's episodic or not. It's always going to be on the vein of how much does it cost us to make. Because remember that in the United States, for the most part, you guys have a unique system that forces animators or companies that make animation to not sell to kids. Where in places like Japan, they sell to kids a lot.
While also respecting the adult audience.
No, they don't have to. No, they don't even respect the adult audience. They sell to kids. They market it. They're in Japan. The animation department is broken up into 6 different divisions. There is the pre, which is your what is it? Your school or your early age school kids. So you're looking at from 0 to 5 years old. And then you go into your early education, which is between the ages of 6 to 11. Then you go into your pre-adolescence, which goes into your say about 10 all the way up until about 16. your early adults, which is 16 to about 25. Your adult mature is broken up into 2 separate veins, which goes into your would be considered a rated or what is it, rated R level animation, and then your pornographic type animations. Now, are they acceptable for all groups? Yes. Some can actually do, especially when you get older, in the older group, the older generation can actually be marketed in all of them because, again, they grew up with these animations from, well, since birth. Can a younger generation go into the older vein? No, they have to be adopted or in this case, brought up with these types of different materials. After they get to the age of 16, they can kind of venture around looking at different things. They'll have their own different ideas of where they're going to go. But animation in Japan is highly acceptable for all age groups, very malleable, and very profitable. Whereas in the Western front, it's focused heavily on children for whatever reason. It's been stated before the turn of the geek century, that it was only meant for children and no adults would be allowed to watch such things. I mean, back in, I guess, your early age of Disney was the only time frame that was allowed to be acceptable for all ages, but after a certain time frame, animation, or at least cartoons in general, were only kids only. It's like chocolates was only adults only before it was brought over to the child market.
Well, speaking of tentacle hentai, did you hear about the woman that replaced, instead of using an artificial hand, replaced with an artificial tentacle?
Yeah.
That's how far we've come.
Yeah.
Congratulations, world. You're hitting it off big this year.
Well, I mean, the tentacle is a lot easier to manipulate, as well as it has a lot of different suction cups that could hold onto things better than the actual trying to.
Bro, stop. You're gonna make me say something. Like, if you keep going, and then we're all gonna get arrested. So stop.
But I'm just saying that the function and form of what it's meant to be is a lot
stop
easier to deal with than the actual hand itself.
No, Sparky's got the picture up.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the picture of Silverhawks, which is, again, the movie that it's also titled Silverhawks. You got,
but it's one word. This actually, Silverhawks was pronounced as one word in the cartoon, and
even the movie, it's Silverhawk. Yes. Silverhawks. One word. Same thing in the movie. One word.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's broken up into 2 separate. But it's one word. Yeah, they tried to.
It's a baby panthro.
It's a baby panthro.
It is. That's how the 2 worlds tied together. Really, which was kind of interesting.
But, yeah, I find your Western comics, or at least your cartoons, very questionable.
Everything back in the 80s was kind of questionable.
The cartoons were designed for marketing. That was the whole idea.
And if you really want to talk about questionable, we'll talk about the 70s later.
I've seen most of the 70s animation.
I lived the 70s. Come on.
Most of it was based under the underground animation department. They wanted to get away from the standard tradition Disney art.
Mm.
Keep in mind, back in the time frame of that era, you're looking at Disney trying to rule the roost. Well, that's when Walt was still alive and breathing.
Well, Walt was a communist. Even though he was claiming everybody else was. He wanted to be in charge of everything.
Well, his empire now runs the roost for the most part. He'd be very ecstatic and very upset at the same time.
Oh, if he saw how they were running it today, he'd blow his brains out again.
Well, yeah, that's why I said he's happy and upset at the same time. It's like, I got it! We finally got it! Oh, what happened? What did you do? Yeah, fuck it up!
Yeah.
We had it so good.
Alien. Oh, sorry.
I felt like Walt would have that. What is it? The original. I gotta think here for a second, or a few, because I think of Spaceballs for whatever reason. That final scene for the American. What was it? Planet of the Apes. The final sequence.
Yeah.
You blew it up all the hell. God, you all.
You blew it up, you damn dirty apes.
What are those coming out of her nose? Spaceballs.
Yes.
Oh shit! There goes the planet.
Well, I know this much with like the Silverhawks coming back into it. I like the intro to it. The overall story I didn't like. The backstory of the characters, how the characters, got to how they are. I thought it's kind of interesting. But besides from that, it's the old show is like a cobbled together mess to me.
Well, again, it was a marketing tool back in the '86. They just had toys that they had to sell off.
Mm-hmm.
We made up the story along the way. I mean, we've got these toys that we got to market somehow. Okay, we're gonna make a cartoon that make these toys come to life, and we're done.
Toy Story.
Pretty much. But you have, all these these people who are upset with the factor that we might sell to kids. I mean, who the fuck was going to buy this shit? The kids? No, the parents.
Well, the one thing that really drew me, the intro. I don't know why. The intro to Silverhawks is what drew me into the show. But
yeah, it was designed to.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'll play here in just a second. But once I start getting to
at Space Ninjas, I mean seriously.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but once you started watching the show,
all you need to do is go back to Gotcha Man, and that's basically what you had. It's just an American version of it.
Yeah, but no, the voice acting and just the delivery of the story for each episode it fell apart.
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
Sometimes it started out good, but it fell apart. But the voice acting sucked.
Well, I think they were confusing lines at one point from each show.
They were.
They just went with it.
Yeah, but I'll go ahead and play this intro real quick because, like I said, whenever I heard it, it drew me in for some reason.
Oh yeah, good song.
Wings of silver, birds of steel.
Still gives me chills.
The Power 80s. Power 80s metal. Come
on. The guitar riff kind of came in,
yeah.
I always thought the guitar was cool until you heard the guy's voice, and then you were like,
Bluegrass.
He doesn't really know how to play the guitar.
All I can say is the music itself is great. The lyrics, very funny.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, yeah, we're fun. As a child, I did this. When did Silverhawks start? I gotta look this up. I'm pretty sure it was the same song.
So,
oh no, it was the year after Voltron.
Yeah,
same month.
Well, keep in mind this would have been in the same vein of the merchandise-driven cartoons.
Yeah.
And
the toys were cool. I had all the toys to this. They were actually
well, again, from what I think it was 69, where you had the Hot Wheels cartoon.
But if you got pop on them, the silver flaking that they used on them or whatever it was just fucking corrode like no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's because
Coca-Cola especially would just eat that paint off like it was nothing.
Yeah, well, there was a whole different kind of formula for a bit.
No.
They've changed the formula a few
Oh,
times.
since
Coca-Cola.
then, yeah, but Jesus, I mean, it was like, but they were actually the best designed toys at the time, except for the paint.
Yeah,
That was it. And,
See, I can't remember what was it? You had.
Okay, when it comes down to the merchandise-driven era of cartoons and that, what would be the outstanding, the one that pretty much draws you in automatically? Your I guess it'd be your how they say it's a gate drug for if you start marijuana or something like that. What was your gate drug for the merchandise-driven animation?
80s cartoons.
basically,
One particular cartoon there, Ben. One. It has to start with one.
Transformers.
He-Man.
Oh no, I forgot about E-Man.
Robotech.
Between those two,
Robotech.
I liked it.
Oh, no, Robotech was good, but they really didn't have many toys out for it back in the day.
It was.
Yeah.
I never really went for the toys.
Actually, they only had the plane, which was the same kind of vein plane from Transformers.
I try to take that back.
Sky,
That's like they had like two.
I had a model.
They had the enemy plane and the
The
good guy plane, and that was it. There was supposedly other toys out there you could get if you lived out in California or Japan. You could get the big
would
carrier.
have the entire model set.
I had the model of the SDF one.
I'm surprised no one said Star Wars toys because that was heavily marketed.
Wasn't the good guy plane was like a weird either orange color, and the bad guy was like a really like horrible like nasty green color.
It was a horrible nasty green color. It was supposed to be an eyeball on legs. It
was just
it was a battle pod.
Yeah. And it just and it was one of the worst selling toys. I remember that era, but the toys did not sell well, and that's why they only had two, I guess, maybe or whatever. But then you had a
couple different ones.
They had the carrier, but you had to live in California in order to, or New York, or Japan to get it. I mean, there were like only 3 places that actually sold it.
Yeah,
if I recall
correctly,
it
was poorly designed too. I mean,
well, supposedly the carrier would just fall apart, like literally. I mean, it would just.
Well, it was modular too, so
yeah.
Because the SDF one and that it was basically free ships. You had the Daedalus. You had the Daedalus. One was an aircraft carrier. I can't remember what the fucking aircraft carrier's name was. And then the main ship. And the 2 ships that were attached to it were actually just they were actual sea-based ships. They weren't meant for space.
Yeah, but there was. I'm going to talk about toys here for a minute and the design flaws and everything. You had Transformers, and if you had a Transformer that had a twisty waist, that was gone in a week. The twisty waist would always break. if it had a waist that would turn around, the single piece that allowed it to, that was gone in a week. It would break. It was the only place that was plastic on the Transformer for some reason. Then you had Voltron, parts didn't fit, of course. Then you had He-Man, which was very interesting because you had Mossman, who after a week after opening the package started to smell like literal.
That was the gift that kept on giving with Mossman.
Yeah, well, oh god, that thing. I mean, that thing made you. My parents made me throw it away after a week.
Oh, somebody has joined us. Who joined us?
It's probably a dragon.
Yep, it's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon. You're a dragon, Harry. And then there was Silverhawks would corrode, of course. And there was one other toy set I'm trying to think of it, and it was a Hot Wheels based toy set that was cartoon in the 80s. I can't remember it. But it was, I mean, the toys were trash, honestly. Unless you kept them in their original packaging, they were trash and would fall apart.
Yeah.
The superhero ones, the Super Friends. That's what it was. It wasn't Hot Wheels. It was Super Friends. And those were, oh my god. The paint just flaked off the second it touched air from the packet out once it was out of the package. That's why a lot of people left them in their original package.
Yeah.
You had to play with your toy in the packaging. But the toys were just garbage. I would save my money, buy these toys, and just fucking cry when they broke or something went wrong with them.
Well, I mean, honey, what happened?
Of course, I remember burying the G.I. Joes in the backyard. G.I. Joes were pretty. The G.I.
They were durable. You could actually interchange them. If you figured it out, there was like a little bolt in the back of them.
Yeah.
You remove that, and then you're able to kind of mix and match your G.I. Joes.
Yeah, you could do really cool things with them back then.
Yeah.
Also, they were also fixable too because of that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember
my personal favorite is trying to make a G.I. Joe a veteran, so you have them lose a leg and an arm.
Yeah. I remember the vehicles, though, on the other hand, didn't quite. I mean, it depends. If you bought a modular one, they kind of held up sometimes, and if you bought a non-modular one, they wouldn't really hold up great. Like the Tomahawk.
They flew wonderful, though.
Oh, into the dirt. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
or a pond, or I got it. I swear to God, my local pond when I was a kid must have a billion G.I. Joes in it because we tried to get the boats to float, and we would super glue them like all the crevices. And no matter how much you could wrap the thing in super glue, it would still sink. You could never. I know someone put their carrier, their G.I. Joe USS carrier out there, and it's still somewhere in there. Like. Pond.
Biodegraded.
No.
They're made of plastic.
They were not.
They were made of an industrial plastic that, you didn't know.
Will be here until, long after the planet's dead.
Yeah.
They'll
probably just outlive some of the cockroaches.
No, they'll outlive Twinkies.
Ew.
They'll outlive Twinkies.
Oh, anything can pretty much outlive a Twinkie.
I mean,
I don't
The
want to
Twinkie even turns to dust eventually.
no. A Twinkie will outlive you, Pen.
Oh, a Twinkie will outlive us, but not a G.I. Joe.
No.
An old G.I. Joe, that is.
Or the Green Army Men.
The Green Hornet.
Army Men.
Yeah.
Oh, Army Men.
Army
Men were actually made of a cheap biodegradable plastic. Most people don't know that was the first biodegradable plastic that was ever made because they made so many of them and they wanted to make them cheap. And it wasn't actually because of an environmental reason. It was just a cheaper plastic that would eventually no one gave a shit about. That's why Army Men were not in landfills today.
You know what? We should go back. I was going to say we should go back to lead-based toys.
Oh yeah, so many.
China has got you beat there. China has got lead-based cat toys. There you go.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I know. Watch out.
Why you got to call me out like that?
Because I have cats too, but I have to call myself out.
All right, so I'm gonna switch gears real quick. And I'm gonna speak about something that happened Friday, and I'm still dealing with it fucking today. It pisses me the fuck off. So I ended up having to make a trip Friday somewhere, and since being is like in the middle of payday, I don't get paid until next Thursday. I have a supplement, well, not a supplement, but a how do you call it? It's a card I can charge money up with, and I use it for like emergency basis or in case, I'm in between paychecks and I need to make a purchase, like for fuel or something like that. Well, I ended up making a purchase up out of my living area.
Heroin.
No. I bought a jacket. Fuel.
That would be the first time I've heard that, heroin.
Anyways, I made a purchase. And the purchase went through. So when I got back, I went down to the bar. And I had a couple beers. I went to go pay my tab. And my card got declined. So after walking around, I got my tab paid off. So Saturday comes around. I called the card company. I was like, oh yeah, well, we've seen that as a fraudulent charge because we've seen you in one area, then back into another area. It's like, yeah, it's called traveling. This was me. I verified me. It's like, okay, your card's now reinstated. Well, while they did that, you also get a text-based message. I said, we've seen a transaction at this location. Is this you, and do you recognize this transaction? Hit yes. It sends it back. It's like, okay, you may now proceed with transaction, and everything's good. It has declined every fucking sale 7 times now. I've called them 4 times. I have done their questionnaire online 5 times, and I've done their stupid text-based message deal 3 times. Every single fucking time I go to use the card, it's declined, detected as a fraudulent charge. I'm like, so I've got about $700 on that fucking card I cannot access, and it's supposed to be my emergency card. And I keep getting
feel
told
like we're talking to the shapeshifter Sparky, and the real Sparky's blocking him.
Pretty much.
What? Fuck you, Kraken.
Are you sure you're the real Sparky?
How do we know you're the real Sparky?
Will
Tell
the
us
real
something
Sparky,
only the real Sparky would know.
Will the real Sparky please stand up?
Oh boy.
You walked yourself into this one.
See this?
I'm
You
sorry,
guys will see this
like
in about 20 minutes. All you guys can fucking sit and rotate.
Sit
Well,
and
you know, some
spin.
of us might actually enjoy that.
Spin.
Hey, don't.
I'm in a chair that spins, so I could do that right now.
So can I.
Pan,
So
don't
can
share
I.
your sexual desires with us.
Hey, you open this door.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
gonna
close
walk
it
right
too.
through it.
I'll close it too. Right in your face.
I kicked the door in.
Yes, I know. I have had another insert foot into mouth moment.
And just right after you say, well, you walked into it.
She walked through the door.
He walks into those ones often. It's fine. We've grown accustomed to it.
I'm surprised my big Jewish nose is not flat by now for how many times I've walked into it.
Well, your boobs kind of bounce off the door, so.
Your boobs
Yeah.
protect your nose, so there you go.
I have built-in airbags.
Is that really the trap?
No, I am
That's
definitely not a
lo-fi.
trap.
That's lo-fi.
Oh! Damn.
I'm just gonna
keep quiet.
Now go left.
Now go right.
Now, cha-cha.
God, I haven't heard that song in a long fucking time.
I see what Rogue... Damn it, Rogue. I saw it coming.
Well, I think we all saw it coming. We saw him fucking activate soundpad. How dare you?
All I can say is this one. Krillin! Thank you.
Yeah, I knew it was coming because I saw the notification of it pop up.
No, it's more like this.
Did anyone get the number of that bitch?
18.
Thank you. Eat a dick.
Okay, it's fine.
Now it's a crazy period with 5 people with sound pads.
The fuck is that?
I sense a disturbance.
Look, this is not my fault this time.
I want a Dodge City
gun.
It's
and you ain't
How
going
big
to
do you
gun.
want it?
Anytime you guys walk into Sparky's, on stream show, you always have to remember one thing and one thing only.
3 people have soundboards.
We lost.
Yes.
Prayers.
Well, technically, 5 people here have sound pads. Only 3 of them have them up right now.
I'm gonna assume
at a minimum in any position.
God damn it.
that was pin right there.
That was
the thing.
That sounds like the pin contest. It's like, okay, so how we're gonna fuck around with you, Pin? Well, he's 4 man. Adam is.
Pin challenge. Got it.
So Pin. Does this mean you gotta be assuming the position?
I assume many positions, all of which I do not agree with.
Police girl.
So you're a kinky girl.
Police girl.
Deploying Mako Core Security. Death Laser Robot.
I might have fucked up, yes.
I blame Rogue.
It's easy to do.
The only thing I got to say to you guys.
Up and sin.
Yeah. The only thing I gotta say to you guys is this.
This ain't Dodge City. And you ain't Bill Hickok.
Perverted.
The fuck is he saying? I hear that all the time. I just don't understand it.
Fuck up averted.
Yeah, fuck up averted. Because of the fact that they have to bleep the thing on YouTube. Fuck up averted.
Oh.
Yeah, you hear it now.
Okay.
I mean, technically, you want the unedited version. I wish you the best of luck finding that one.
Oh, they don't post their stuff unedited. It's a shame they don't. But honestly, the beeper from the Final Fantasy VII works perfectly.
Yeah.
So coming up with that idea was just,
Oh no!
You know what time I enjoy the beep is whenever I listen to the count censored.
Oh yes, I remember that one with the Sesame Street.
I have that.
Oh, I mean Count Dankula?
No.
Count
Von Count.
Yeah, the
remember,
count.
Clean the seas, help the bees, save the trees, shoot cummies.
I seen a video where he went through his spam folder and got
The funny thing is I don't find Dankula funny or entertaining.
I just find his
people
voice
actually
funny.
enjoy him, but
I just find
teach
his
their
voice and how he looks funny.
I don't like his voice. I don't think he's that funny, and
his Mad Labs are good. I will give his Mad Labs.
That's the problem. It just comes back down to I don't know.
I only enjoy the Mad Lads because, well, it's an interesting thing to learn about fuckers.
No, that's what I said. His Mad Labs are actually really good. He's very thorough. He'd be a great documentarian if he did one. Well, he does do them. I mean, but if he did one professionally, I mean,
he would never be able to qualify because in the UK he doesn't fit the.
Exactly.
Well, he can still do it independently.
He can do it independently.
No, he couldn't even work independently in the UK. He needs to have his license in order to do so, and he would never get it.
Oh no, because he's not. He's hated like tomorrow. But
no, but besides being hated,
he's ginger.
He doesn't fit what be the normal qualification of a person for a documentarian. He put too many holes in his fucking face.
Oh yeah, I know.
And that's the biggest thing.
All you have to do is just have a voice.
Well, now if he moved to America, he'd be fucking right up there.
Stateside, by all means, he can do that. But over where he's at, and he's not going to move. So yeah, he's pretty much limited to what he's capable of. He's supposed to be a comedian, and he's not that great one. He's not even in the same vein as a Gervais or whatever.
He's. I mean, he doesn't claim to be, but he's okay. He's not great, but I'd give him a solid for a beginner so far, starting out his career. Not bad.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's not starting his career. He's been in his career for quite some time.
Yeah, I know.
It's like.
Well,
So-
actually, no, because he really didn't get to start his career until recently because of all the court problems. And
So we got
No, see that
he's been a comedian for
was
years.
actually
He hasn't
starting
been
his
on
career
stage until
before
recently.
the actual pug incident, and he had to gain notoriety based on the pug incident.
That's true.
I do like the joke that came out of it when it was him pretending to be Bob Ross, saying that it was like paint the little trees and this and that. And now you take your brush and you go down to this little fella and he just shows him down to Buddha, and he just shows he's being the fucking leg of the goddamn on sand. But it's like he's going out to the pug and just whap whap whap. Beat the devil out of it.
That was pretty good.
The power of Christ compels
Yeah, but wasn't
you.
that taken down eventually and had to be put back up because it's considered dog abuse, or at least portraying animal
But he
abuse?
didn't.
No, he got it back up because it wasn't portraying animal abuse because it didn't show animal abuse.
So
it was. He actually put he put on a thing saying, "I am not actually hitting the dog."
Yeah, no, he had, in order for Noah to go up, he had to put a disclaimer up there.
Disclaimer.
So
it's
I
I saw it without the disclaimer, so
down.
I have that one saved, so I haven't. saved
Hell, if you do
the disclaimer.
anything on YouTube now, you have to have the disclaimer.
Not for children, not animal abuse, not actual violence.
No,
Yeah.
No, you have to have it. You have to have a disclaimer if you're going to say the word penis now. Sparky, don't forget that disclaimer at the end of this video.
Penis. I'm not fucking.
Oh, by the way, for this, I haven't realized this is an 18 above channel. If you're still here under the age of 18, get the fuck out! Thank you.
Oh yeah, we had to do that the other day, didn't we, Rogue?
Yes.
And to make it
really,
even better,
yeah. Wait, what?
You had to do that on Twitch?
Yeah, it's a disclaimer.
Oh, now you have to do that. You have to do a disclaimer at the beginning of your shows at all. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you hear me start a show now, I literally say "fuck off, kids."
Yeah. That's actually a requirement because now a lot of the medium level YouTubers are doing that. They're putting that disclaimer in at the beginning of the show. This is not meant for kids over the age of 18, or even some are considered big in their certain areas. For example, one of the guys that does the Mini Master build guides for the decks and that, he said, I'm not for kids under the age of this age, so please go. If you guys are still here with me, here's how you build a deck. And it's again, Mini Master is a game for all ages, but he's focused on one group type.
Yeah, it's gotten to a ridiculous point to where I was always wondering how the FCC and all of them were going to fuck this all up. And congratulations.
Well, apparently the way that YouTube was handling it was not how the FCC was going to enforce it at all. The FCC had a backpedal and they said, no, we're not looking at these particular channels under these guidelines. We're looking for these, which is not how, again, YouTube presented it.
Not how YouTube did it. YouTube
fucked up.
Yeah.
YouTube really fucked up, and they allowed this to go down. Not only did they open up that can of bees, they opened up multiple can of bees so that they have a huge swarm all over them, and they tried to redirect it to like, no, it's not us. It's not us. It's not us. Keep the bees out of my eyes. It's over there. Go there. That person over there. The person who's making this content. That's what we're gonna have to push all this blame on.
Yeah, I have to work on. I have to work on a pre-intro now where it says "fuck off, kids." Essentially.
Well, I've already on my regular videos, I've already got a fucking disclaimer up saying for like fair use and all this other good stuff. So, I mean, I've already got that one now. I gotta pull up another one. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, see, YouTube did turn down the option for. They were given this thing where they could have channels that said they were for children, general audience, and mature. YouTube said fuck the third option, and we're only going to do children or adults.
Yeah.
No, what they said was for children not for children. That's
So
what they said.
that's basically what they want. They want this entire endeavor to be for children only. And this is the reason of why, if you look at a lot of the structures
But they make
that
no
they have,
money that way.
if you look at who their biggest money makers are, they have children behind them.
Of course she is.
So it's very interesting. It's like,
I mean, PewDiePie
the Paul brothers who are solidly for kids, because again, they've got a child army behind them watching their shows.
But hang on. Time out. It doesn't make sense though, because alright, so they want content that's for children, but
children
they can't,
content can't be monetized, can't be
monetized.
searchable,
So how in the fuck do they make money off of it?
That's the reason of why they want to have all the kids'
Sponsors.
stuff on their main channel, which is the main YouTube side. That's how they're making money off of it.
But they can't monetize it. Or they can't have targeted ads.
They've already did that prior. This is where we are now. This is how we got here.
Yeah.
Oh, how? Oh, I'm already talking about this is what they were wanting.
That was the original plan. Is like, because that's what they marketed all of their advertisers for. We have the biggest child market in our main channel. Please pimp your shit.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody within 22, Save the Children type organizations got the FTC, your FCC, whatever, FTC, their ear.
Got pissy because we had people like I don't know who to throw under the bus other than
Well, it's their old running joke. Some woman in Detroit didn't like it and got it banned.
Well,
yeah, but again, at the end of the day, I don't blame them because
it wasn't that hard to find shit. I mean, we had the massive controversy with Daddy of Five and other fuckers.
Well, here's another problem: is that they were collecting. I mean, this has been illegal even before the internet. They were collecting information on children below the ages of 12. And they weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, the way it's supposed to work, it's supposed to work is if you don't have an account, none of the features that you're supposed to have as an account that's 13 or over, you should have access to.
Correct. But because of the factor that it's hooked up to your browser, you have access.
Well, the fact that they came up with an algorithm that learned who was who and was still collecting the information even when it knew it was a 12-year-old came out, they fucked up.
Yeah, no, again, that's the problem. They've been building...
They could have fixed it simply and just had it, okay, when so-and-so is on, or a certain age...
but then how are they going to make their money?
Yeah, I know. So
it comes back down to... It
came down to where YouTube should have been fucking overran with just fucking fines.
Yeah.
But instead they copped it off to us.
It almost did get overrun with fines. YouTube
should have.
No, the problem is YouTube was almost... Google almost lost YouTube.
Yeah. And it would have been great.
And they opted to pay off the fine and then have Dough Girl over there come up with some new rules.
To throw every YouTuber under the bus.
Yeah. Which now is going to destroy YouTube. And instead of YouTube being lost, it's going to be destroyed.
Yeah, well, I mean, YouTube was on the verge of being destroyed by itself the moment it had its feminist ideology thrown in.
Yeah.
It's not... I hate to tell these beautiful feminists here, but it's not profitable. It makes no money.
YouTube hasn't been profitable in how many years now?
Since they've taken it over. Since
feminist and beautiful does not, coexist in the same word. It's an oxymoron, and
yeah,
not always true. I met.
It's never true. Never true.
I met one.
They are still ugly people, and I don't mean physically. They are extremely ugly people, no matter how you look at it.
No, you got a point. There are a few that are fairly nasty.
Oh no, they are all nasty. I mean, they are all ugly people, as in the fact is that their souls are blacker than Satan's.
I don't know. Satan doesn't have much of a soul.
In other words,
I hope they burn in hell.
They won't burn in hell, unfortunately.
How do you think hell is so
I
hot?
know for a fact.
I mean, how do you think hell is so hot?
Well, the fact that they're black.
Actually,
the
hell is
Earthlings
not
are
as hot as
blacker
you
than
think
coal.
it is. It's actually pretty cold.
Your opinion does not matter on this fact.
Krampus does not exist. Get over it.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Thank you.
Someone found that clip.
I knew what he was thinking.
No.
Arius, allow me to express my appreciation for such a display of wit through the act of laughter. Laughter has ceased.
For a minute, that it reminds me of Alan Rickman.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what they came up with the voice for Alan Rickman.
But they could have got the real dude to do it. It would have been awesome.
Well, that would be a miracle if they could have got the real guy to do it. Real Alan Rickman to do it.
Oh, I know he's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
I would prefer the real guy overall. So realistically, I don't need the imitator because the imitator is not doing a good job of it. So.
Alec Rickman. This is Alec Rickman calling Trey Mine you. Do not.
Somebody on here had that, didn't it?
It was Rogue.
Yes, I have it somewhere.
It's Rogue. He has it.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It'll get you drunk.
I've come to talk with you again.
Wesley? Alright, this is quick.
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Okay, Jim Max, stop. He had it pulled up, and you played it.
Search. Again.
I'm not doing this.
God damn it.
Let's do this.
I'm not doing this.
You've reached Alan
Rickman there it is.
At 555-0122. Please leave a message at the beep. Hello, Alan Rickman. It's Alan Rickman. Reminding you to move the pork chops from the freezer to the refrigerator so they defrost properly. Do not disappoint me. Hello. You've reached Alan Rickman at 555-0122.
God damn it.
Please leave a message at the beep. Alan, it's me again. Remember that turtle joke for the party.
I don't know why that line is so amazing. The only thing that beats that is the Asian. God created the Asians.
God damn it.
I said that to somebody recently. I can't remember who.
You guys are too funny.
Yeah.
Well, need help. There is no help for you all.
That help was long gone. Welcome humanity to the age of demons. Enjoy it.
Enjoy.
I mean, with all the degeneracy and everything going around, I actually would believe it.
So it's 12 days into the new year. How's it going for everyone? Yes.
It's been going gangbusters. My popcorn bag is always being filled up. I mean, you guys are possibly going to war. Maybe. I don't know.
It's been declared.
No, Iran's going to civil war. And then Iraq is going to request the UN for help. And then the UN is going to request the US for money. And Trump is going to say, suck it. That is exactly because he ain't playing this game anymore.
Apparently not. And the Dems are like, it's all your fault that we almost had World War III.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault that Iran shot down a plane, and everybody's like, shut the fuck up.
No.
Even other Dems are
fault. It's all his fault that they shot their own fucking plane down.
Yeah,
they shot Turkey's plane down technically, but still.
Well, no. Here, hold on. The plane flew out of Tehran. The plane was in the airspace of Iran. The Iranians blew down the plane, so technically they blew down their own plane down.
Yeah, true.
That sounds like a cutting off your nose to spite your face.
But here's the funny thing: the Democrats are screaming, "You shot down a plane, President Trump!" And all the like half the Democrats are like, "No, Nancy Pelosi's like he shot down a plane," and then all the other Democrats are like,
"What?
No, we're not going with this one. We're not. Don't care. No."
And what's this? What's this that the House is trying to voted to pass a resolution to say that Trump has to request permission clearance?
It's not going to pass.
Like, it can't. I mean, yes, it passed, but it's non-binding.
No,
because
he has to sign it, and it's not. It passed, but it has to pass the Senate veto. Too. It has to pass the Senate, and it won't pass the Senate. Simply because
I'm still waiting for impeachment to happen. Is this going to be
actually is sending the articles to the Senate, but nothing's going to come out of it.
I know, that's what I mean. Impeachment 2020. I mean,
Nancy Pelosi's about to get booted out of her position.
I mean, it just seems like it's going gangbusters for you guys over there.
Oh, good. When you have actual, there's this street that has the Israel flag and the American flag painted on it that Iran did, so people could walk.
I actually saw a video on that.
They are walking around it. Anybody who walks on it is getting
shamed.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. It's absolutely fucking. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Iran is about to hit a civil war because the guy Soleimani was the guy who stopped this shit from happening. He acquired power to where he would be basically the go-to guy to be like, okay, put these people down. There's no one there right now. There is a 55% chance that if they could go into civil war and it will be successful because he is dead. If they had just kept their fucking nose clean instead of starting this shit up, it'd probably be as business as usual in Iran. There is a 55% chance that there is going to be a war. Actually, there's a 95% there's going to be a percent chance there's going to be a war, but it's going to be a civil war. Probably, most likely.
Yeah, but how many people will be involved? I mean,
like I said, Iraq is going to be taking in refugees from Iran. Iraq is going to be requesting help from the UN. And the UN is going to be requesting us for money. And Trump is going to be requesting them to go fuck themselves. That is what's going to happen. Unless Trump gets smart and decides, oh, would you do that with a please and a cherry on top that says, I'm awesome? And that's going to be the UN is going to have to be like,
pretty please with a cherry on top.
Yes. I mean, that's if Trump's smart, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be smart. He's going to say, go fuck yourselves, which I'm fine with too, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's the greatest tactician, but he does have people behind him that does give him ideas.
Yeah, that's true too. But
this is what you have advisors for. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room.
But correct. No, that's what I'm saying. But when he's pissed off like this, he usually tells people to go fuck themselves.
Usually, but he's in a position where he doesn't have to. He can do that on Twitter. I mean, if he hasn't done it on Twitter yet, chances of him doing it in real life is kind of questionable.
Well, the reason he hasn't done it is
Twitter.
It's Twitter. Oh god.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jem. Finish.
No. Go ahead. I was just going to say that the position hasn't come up yet, and it's going to take at least another week before it comes up. Because out civil war is going to happen because they turned off their internet too slowly. Because again, Soleimani had that power. This man set himself to be the next person in charge of Iran, and because he was killed, he never should have left the country. He never should have
pretty much opened himself up to being easily struck upon. I mean, that seems like a bad idea.
And because of that, all those generals that were crying on TV and all those people, those were the people who who are now fucked.
Yeah, they don't know what to do.
Because he was the one in charge, essentially.
Oh, I was going to say, segueing from that, have you guys actually seen the new features that Twitter's rolling out?
I don't care. It's Twitter.
Oh, you mean the shit where you could be commented on or not be commented on feature?
Yep.
I've heard of it. I've heard of this thing. I really, honestly, don't see a problem in it.
You mean this?
Oh, there is no problem in it, but it's funny how we can already think of how people are going to react based off how they reacted before on similar things.
Basically, they just made shadow banning accessible by everybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all they did.
That's all they. Yeah,
this has been a feature for a while.
It's all they've done is they've made it more available to the common user. It used to be behind the scene, and now they just kind of go, you know what? We don't want to deal with this. You deal with this.
Well, which is fine. People should be able to allow who wants to comment on what. But now you're going to have the folks who spend their entire day, and you know that there's multiple of them, spend their entire day, anytime that Trump makes a tweet, then they sit there and they berate him. Now all he has to do is just change every single one of his tweets to statement only, and they cannot comment. Sure, they can retweet, but it doesn't have the same visibility.
Yeah,
so they're going to sit there and they're going to cry that their First Amendment of being able to respond is being impeded. And one of two things are going to happen. Either Trump is going to be forced to make all of his statements public so that everybody can comment, or it's going to be upheld that, hey, he can tweet and people can retweet and people can see his tweets, but he does not have to allow them to comment on his comments.
He doesn't.
And then they're going to sit there and they're going to cry.
Oh, yeah, they can cry all they want, but it's a private company.
They've been crying in the beginning. Is how we got here, Penn.
I know.
Well, here's the thing. What's her call it is still in court, and that's about to be overturned to where they can block, because now Democrats complaining about not being able to block people. So it doesn't matter. Twitter's
they're just continuing to shoot themselves in the foot.
Twitter is actually slowly dying. Gab is somehow growing, and
Twitter is getting a lot of their celebrities being moved over to something called text messaging, which is fascinating all by itself. So Instagram is now the front runner for the new Zoomers that are out there. The only people who use Twitter are usually the boomers.
Well, actually, think about it this way. It might not be the intention, but I can see the implication. If you have celebrities who say, yeah, no, just text to me, and they get abusive and harassment comments, or what they think is abusive and harassment, imagine how much easier it actually is to send that information over to law enforcement to be tracked down. Because your phone number is associated to your account, unless you get a burner phone.
Yeah. I have so many burner phones. You could buy a burner phone for $15 and start an account for another $5.
Yeah, because all it is nowadays is just a simple chip that you have to replace.
Yeah. No big deal.
I know it's not a big deal. I'm just pointing it out.
No, but I understand where your mindset is on that one. It makes it a lot easier. It's the same thing that why celebrities have their new burner phones, being listed, because again, it's a useless phone that they could get rid of very quickly. And what better way to control your marketing than have them directly talk to you personally? For example, let's say a person is trying to interview you. Well, they have to text directly to you. They can't just put all this shit up on your Twitter. No.
I mean, hell, most movie stars have burner phones now. That's why they're not getting caught for shit anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, a burner phone is like, I mean, eventually they're going to make it illegal somehow. Or
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be fascinating if they do, because even the government has their.
Well, the thing is, it wouldn't be in the best interest of the cell phone companies because they actually like this because it makes them a lot of money because people throw away their phones before they use up their minutes or time or anything now.
Yeah.
And it's I don't see. I agree with you. I don't see this going away, but at the same time, if the government gets, if we ever get another Democrat in there, I could actually honestly see it going very quickly.
I don't know, because that's the problem right there. Because I don't think the Democrats would do that, because that'd be cutting their own arm off again. Because they're the ones that employ the burner phones more so than anybody else within your.
That's true too.
So having them trying to enforce this rule, or at least this law, as well as do they own telecommunications, or is this like a private company?
But then again, you also have collecting information on kids, and a lot of kids have accounts on these things, and that could also fuck them. And so they might not. When I think about it.
Yeah. So realistically, I don't think the phone companies will have an issue when it comes down to this, because they have a lot more money than the federal government.
And they're bigger.
They have more power. Okay, because at any given time, they can just turn off something.
Yeah, true. At this point, yes, because there's only two of them, and they agree with each other. What a funny thing.
It's like, sorry, this is what happens when you give monopoly share to companies, and that they have control over,
well, how you live your life. It's actually a duopoly, but tomato.
I just said monopoly shares, so whether you want to call it a duopoly or not, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, no, it's just it's what happens.
They dug this hole and dug it deep.
They're gonna have a hard fight trying to undug it. They're gonna have to dig upside. They're gonna have to dig up.
The only way they can really undig it is if they declare a monopoly, which would be very hard. But also they would have to. I mean, there are smaller companies now that they've kind of that are out there. And what are some of the? There's like small local companies that they are not being allowed to buy up, but they're getting like basically forced out by these companies. So I don't know what's going to happen. Instead of buying them, they're just forcing them out by not allowing them to connect to the pools, which they're not legally allowed to do, but because they're of the same branch company, I guess, but they're doing anyways.
Well, wait. If you are the one that bought the land, and then you're using your own equipment to put up said poles on the land that you control.
Well, here's the thing. Originally, the poles were owned by the government, and then the government said, no, these belong to the companies.
And that's where the problem
somehow.
No, because of the factor that's where the problem comes in. The government has opted not to get themselves involved in something that is not really a massive problem on their end. They don't perceive this as an issue. It's not stopping a private consumer to buy up land to put up their own towers.
No, the thing is, the way they would have, the way it works is the pool is not necessarily owned, or the land around the pool is not necessarily owned. It's really weird how they did this. It's a public utility law that allows them to own the pole, but not the land that the pole is on. Does it make sense? But the pool is required to stay there. I can't go out and cut the pool out in my front yard because technically the pool is the property of somebody else that is allowed to be there by the law. It is fucked up. It should not be allowed. It is a law that is...
It seems reasonable, unfortunately. Keep in mind, you have the division of land versus private property. That's it. But it comes back down to whatever government entity that has said it's allowed.
What is it? Technically, what is it? I could go technically cut the pole and not be charged with the pole, but I could be charged for disrupting services to other people. Is how it works. I'm not a lawyer. Again, I don't know the law. It's some
I'm not a lawyer.
It's some weird catch-22 weird. I don't understand fully, but it's anybody who wants to use that pole should actually technically be allowed to use that pole with licensing from the government is how it used to work. And now, because of the way they can literally, okay, the power company is allowed to use the pole because, we're the power company. We're not allowed to use that pole. Fine, your power's off. Fuck you. Ultimate say right there, honestly. Phone company, there's this old commercial where this was like, power company, you haven't paid your phone bill in a while. We're going to have to turn that off. And then the power company turns off the phone company's electricity. So, that'll, horse and wagon or whatever, dog and pony show. But I don't know. I'm just rambling now.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm trying to understand the whole idea in the telecommunication department because, I mean, you have AT&T, you have Verizon, you've got Comcast, you've got
yes, AT&T, a bastion of
you've got T-Mobile, Sprint, you've got Dish Networks, Cox Communications, you have US Cellular. You've got
actually, Cellular is technically Verizon.
Regardless whether
Net 10 is technically Verizon as well. You got Singular, who is technically owned by T-Mobile. I mean, honestly, these companies are all bound up some way or together, one or the other. And then you got shareholders who are all the same.
Yeah, I know that's a standard with but again,
I mean, technically, it's a monopoly. Yes.
Yes, it is technically a version of a monopoly. The problem is if you have, let's say, 5 different divisions all doing the same thing, they have total control of the entire share. Is it considered a monopoly? No. Because again, it's 5 different companies running against each other, so they have controlling share over one area. So yes, it is, but no, it isn't on a legal format. Unless you want to reword the idea of a monopoly under the legal sense, then by all means go for it. But right now, from what I can see, you have at least 5 different telecommunications that are running phones. It can't be a monopoly.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but they can eventually be charged with price fixing and shit like that if you can catch them on doing it.
Yeah,
After all, that's kind of what happened with. I'm sorry, that's kind of what happened with Apple and some other company.
Comcast.
When it came down to it was Apple and some other company when it was dealing with the ebooks. They were trying to price fix ebooks to force Amazon to increase their prices. And they were taken to court, and I think they were settled out.
Yeah, it was settled out. A lot of this stuff is usually settled out. Because again, if it actually is brought to the attention of the average pleb would kind of go, "Oh wow, Apple's really evil. I'm not going to buy from them." So
you also have Apple supporters.
Again, I'm not saying it's going to take away from all of it. I'm just saying that will reduce the overall population of who's buying. You Apple supporters, you're hardcore still going to purchase, but those who are kind of on the fence will just have a reason of why to jump over. That's it. But yeah, a lot of this stuff, like I said before, is behind the scenes. You're not going to see that Apple had to pay out a small sum of money because of its slave labor usage that it has, or whatever. We don't talk about that because it never existed. So, yeah. But getting back down to the telecommunications, I can see the gripe. I can see the area that it can be very confusing, but it comes back down to if it's a group consensus for the larger communications department to not allow somebody who's smaller to come in. That means that it's the smaller individual will have to go to court. I don't think it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, this is a very long-winded and boring portion of the dead air edition. Should we call this like the Tonka edition?
Why?
We've
Dead
actually
air.
been
Dead air. Dead air.
People have been talking.
Oh my god! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
No, but we have been going for 2.5 hours, so I mean, unless anyone has any topics they want to bring up, I don't see no issue why we can't close out.
Well, not Teen Titans Go. The
Thundercats Roar.
Thundercats Roar is a complete shit show by itself, and
Oh no, say it ain't so.
the funny thing is it's going to be appeasable to the child market. So that's going to be long lived like Steven Universe. Oh goody.
And that itself can't just die either.
It should have ended though.
Yeah, it should have, but they decided, no, we have to do the Steven Future. No, why did you have to do Steven Future?
So
It
there we go.
should have just been over.
No, you can't kill it because they need the money. There you go. That is the overall. You're gonna have shitty cartoons in the next few years. Congratulations. I'm glad I'm not a Ute of this time frame because my God, cartoons are shit.
I cannot stand Thundercats Go. As
Thundercats Roar, based on
no, whatever.
Well, I've watched the first couple episodes and
it's stupid as all fuck.
I heard no one likes it.
No one likes it.
Well, I can't say no one likes it. There is the young audience that seems to be flocking towards it, because again, it's has the same vein of poo humor. The SJWs love it because it's very inclusive with when it comes down to certain characters.
What do you mean?
What I mean? What?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have not seen it, nor do I have any desire to watch it.
You may want to see the first episode.
Why?
Just so you can see exactly what they've done to it.
I see what they've done to it. I do not want.
It's more or less you've got to see this to believe. I could tell you that they pretty much made the only real female there into a raging lesbian. I could tell you that they made Lionel into a complete idiot. I can tell you that they made Panthro into a bisexual, quadruped. I can tell you a lot of different things.
Quadruped.
You can believe it, or you can actually see it to really believe.
I'll just go off your word.
What they've done.
I'm gonna trust your word, mostly due to the fact that the trailer did not even remotely.
Here's the funnier thing: they took the source material. The source material is heavily used in this particular project, and it's a cartoon that is liked within a certain age group, as well as a certain social status type. So yeah, it needs to be viewed at least once. It does, in order for you to fully understand and grasp what they did.
That cancer.
In order to get there, because again, they took the source material, and we're talking about the 80s material, and they reconverted it to Steven Universe.
I mean, the trailer that they revealed made me cringe on so many fucking levels that I just said, fuck no.
No, that trailer has nothing to do with the actual TV series.
Oh dear God. So
That trailer
what
is just a proof of concept, and that's it. You don't even know where it actually. They've taken the music, they've modified it a little bit, and they have the same basic opening as the. Yeah, you may wanna experience the first episode at least. And besides, it's only about a half hour of your time. It's not like it's
You say that.
Trust me.
That's a half hour I can't get back.
Trust me, Pen.
Wasting the time.
You waste hours on things that you can say you have enjoyment with, and you call that work.
I would have shovel shit.
You can be able to reduce yourself a half hour of not just, again, they're like 4-minute standalone shorts.
I would rather shovel shit out of a 50-year-old septic tank for 3 days than spend 30 minutes trying to watch that.
I feel like you know of that by experience. So you have experience in that, I believe. I'm just guessing on the basis of...
It's not experience.
Very descriptive there. But I would say if you haven't already partaked into the cancer that is Thundercats Roar, you might want to, because it doesn't hold up on the basis of me telling you what it does. You have to view it in order to truly enjoy the.
I am just going to flat out say nope.
Yeah, it's one of those beautiful things. And
I will watch the pirate version.
I'm not saying you have to watch it from Toonami or Cartoon Network or whatever. I don't care where. I don't care how you do it, but you should watch at least the first episode, just so you can bask in the glory of this man who has an older brother and older friends that love this show, and he decided that he wanted to do something completely different. And it is completely different. It's a different take on Thundercats, that's for sure.
Basically, what he wanted to do was he wanted his own show, but he wanted to get ground out there, the show, so he could do a show. So he decided to butcher a classic.
No, I don't. He never. I'm going to be honest in this one. I don't think he ever liked Thundercats, and
I don't believe it either, because when I first saw this trailer that they revealed the first time, I just stared at it going, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, you just saw the proof of concept that, and here's the sad factor. It's going to be there for quite some time. It's not going to go away. It's going to have the same case following as Teen Titans Go. It'll probably have a crossover with its 2000 version, just like Teen Titans did. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Oh, and then we got the He-Man thing that's going to be happening soon. So
yeah, but that's actually from Hasbro, so we have some hope.
No. Two versions of He-Man. One from the Hasbro edition, but Hasbro has also put out another version that is from the town crier who loved the current Star Wars. He will be producing his version of it. So yes. There'll be a Smith production that'll be coming out, and then you'll have a Hasbro version of it that'll be coming out, and the two of them are going to coexist within the Netflix space with their She-Ra edition. So yes, it's going to be very fascinating going forward in the upcoming years. I believe they're supposed to be released in 2021, 2022.
If someone could do me a massive favor and just shoot me, I'd appreciate it.
No, we can't do that.
No. You were like the cancer, if I remember correctly. So you like to watch the world burn. So sit back.
The world's been burning, and I'm watching idiots slap themselves with fire retardant while slapping themselves with gasoline.
Yeah, but it's Ember. It's just this is light. This is the light version of the burn. This is just a slow, steady burn. I mean, it's controlled at the moment.
I don't want it controlled. I want it out of control at this moment. I want it to go fucking batshit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Well, welcome to this year. This
slow.
year is supposed to be the batshit cuckoo for Cocoa Pops because we're going to see some unique things.
I'm just gonna go curl up and just puke.
No! 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 Don't wake the baby! Don't wake the baby! Stop it! No, stop it.
Wrong song. No.
Oh, no. Freddy, please don't do it. No, Freddy. Bad Freddy. I'm gonna take so much enjoyment out of murdering you.
Yeah, but you have to wait.
No, I don't have to wait.
You should have gave it a couple more seconds.
Just a couple more.
Just a couple more. It's that long, hesitant, Because it's usually at that time frame where you're just about 6 o'clock and Freddy just showed up and there's that long silence.
I wonder if there's a gameplay. I wonder if there's a gameplay where that happens and it starts chiming, but right at that point, Freddy attacks.
No, because the ding dong will always supersede the Freddy attack. Just like the power cutoff will always cut off Foxy's. That was actually caught on camera, where Foxy is starting to come in to scream, but then the power cuts off.
Yeah, there are certain
one rule will supersede the other.
Yeah. It's very fascinating how he made the game, but also how quickly he can break the game.
breaking the game.
Well, I mean, it's the ultimate thing. You have to, as a gamer, you have to figure out how to break the game.
I still think 2020 mode was outrageous.
People can do it. I've seen a few people get past the 2020. It's
I have to.
There's only been a few people who actually, like a handful of people that actually been able to get past the ultimate 50-20 custom night.
Yep.
I don't think Mark has got past that, has he?
No, he hasn't. Marky Moo has not been able to do that.
I think I've only seen like 2 videos of Mark's, and both of them were SCP related.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, I'm fabulous! Oh!
Yes, I need to get some of his for the soundboard.
Well, it's from the game Hunipop.
Bitch, I'm fabulous.
They actually make a song out of it.
I don't want to know.
I don't either. I'm good. My life will forever be better if I never have to deal
with that song.
Yes.
With that kind of song.
Okay, so looking for that song now.
I said I was good. I don't need to hear it. I'm fine.
Oh no!
You had to push that over, Drago.
Oh, I didn't know. I
had to push it.
You know what the best part is? Now that I know he's looking for it, the odds of us ever being in a stream together will be phenomenally cosmic. And I now know that I've left him with you guys with that clip that you do not want to hear.
I just all I said, I didn't need to hear it. I didn't mean I didn't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Look, I'm leaving the door open and walking out with it.
With the door or with the idea?
Yes.
That was a big fat yes.
This is a giant fuck you.
No. No, just no.
That wasn't an offer, Ben.
Still, nope.
Not that desperate yet.
Oh, you make it sound like I'm such a terrible person.
Are you a terrible person?
You can be at times.
I can be at times.
At times.
Not all the time. Just for you.
Oh, bitch, I'm fabulous!
Oh God, yes! I need
That's not
that.
the one. That's not the one.
That.
That's not the one. I've got the one I was talking about.
I needed that one too.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I downloaded that off a website, and you can go look for it.
I tried.
All right, here we go.
Hello, everybody. My name's Mark Black. Welcome back to
The last time I heard that many bitches, I was intoxicated. I was trying to die.
Oh, they got the violin in the background too.
Yeah.
You just now heard the violin.
Yes.
I didn't even beat her with sexuality tokens. Oh, I'm done. I didn't even need to do anymore. That's how good I am. Ding dong, ding dong. Here comes my ding dong.
I guess that's funny. It's like the goddamn Barbie. Yeah.
There's a lot of bitches going on there.
Yes.
Now it wasn't that bad. Now was it?
Yes.
I'm putting. I just put the headphones back on. So what I missed?
Alright, so
not
you
that
just
bad,
know
not that
you can't
bad,
lie
so,
like that. Lying's not a good thing, Dracula. Because you're like, what's with all the bitches? I've never heard that many bitches in my life. You've heard it.
Pretty much. The most, what was it? The amount
What?
of bitches I've heard. I was drowning, intoxicated. Like
Yep,
something like
no, I'm sorry. I had a brief moment of insanity. What happened? I have that ability to check the fuck out, and I did.
Oh boy, this is gonna be so fun.
It's nice and relaxing to check out like that and let your madness just take over.
That's the whole idea. I keep the madness the way it is.
Yeah, checking out's fun.
I don't know. Madness is much more fun than checking out.
Oh no! See, when I check out, I just let the crazy take over.
It's up House of the Rising Sun and it's House of Madness.
What the fuck was that?
It's a laugh track.
Yeah, laugh tracks.
You didn't know that we had a laugh track?
Now we do.
But that one just sounded
We had
bad.
it last week.
Yeah.
I remember you guys had a can of laughter off, and the one I just heard sounded a lot like someone that put it in a muffler, shook it up, and then spat it out. That one sounds better.
Okay, that's gonna be a thing from now on.
Yes.
Yeah, you did not know this? I knew it was gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those
Now
things.
we can do it every time Pin talks.
Rogue has one. Sparky has one. I think
Actually, I
Genmax has one.
I don't have a laugh track yet.
Yet.
I mean, that is the ultimate, right there. Yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do have a few.
I'm kind of sad with this episode.
Which episode?
This episode.
The one that we're on right now?
Yeah, the one we're doing right now.
Why are you sad?
Because we didn't get two of our favorite participants in.
What participants was they looking for?
I don't see no two dislikes.
Oh.
Are you hoping
he
for?
wants a dislike. Okay, hang on.
Well, I'm-
Okay, hold up. I just changed. Hold up. I'll change mine. There you go. There. You feel better, Sparky?
No, because I know it wasn't them.
Well, maybe they don't dislike because you know that they.
Well, there's no 3 dislikes. I mean,
There's 2 dislikes.
I'm
there's
looking
3.
at-
There's 3.
No, there's only 2
3.
on my screen.
I see 3 right now.
So do I.
should-
Oh, no, yeah, 3. I'm looking at. There's 3.
Cool.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I'm just kind of.
Let me refresh. No, I'm only seeing 2.
I've refreshed it a couple of times. It shows up 3. So I don't know. I agree with the dragon.
Hmm.
And I don't agree with the dragon that often.
Damn.
He knows it.
Yeah, Rogue and I actually spend more time disagreeing.
Than agreeing, yeah. One of those things.
But you just agreed right there, so what?
We agree to disagree.
Well, I mean, that's still agreeing, though, so.
No, it's not. Fight you on this.
He
I will
doesn't
fight you
it.
this one.
But then I also agree with the factor that it is considered agreement. I'm kind of on the fence on that one.
You agreed to disagree. If you're disagreeing, then you will not agree to disagree. Then you will disagree to disagree. But then that turns around. It's a fucking never.
We go back on the same subject and we'll still fight about it.
Yeah, we pretty much do.
Well, I mean, then that's not that much different of what you and I end up doing, Rogue.
We agree on a lot more things than I have with the Dracon over there. But then again, I also like to have the fun with the Dracon because he's the hardest one to manipulate. So yeah.
Half the time I just look at you with like a cup of coffee in my hand,
yes, I know,
and question every fucking thing you do.
I know, that's lovely.
Yeah.
And
I know at some point there's a level that you're just like, stop questioning, and I'm just like, no.
I never do have that point. I just kind of go, what more can I add to this plate? It's usually my level of contentment. How far can I push this?
Very far.
How far can you push the rabbit hole? The
Yes,
rabbit hole can go pretty deep.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, we are reaching the 3-hour mark, and I do have to run up to Pittsburgh today to deal with some stuff.
Okay. Well, I do have this laugh track for you.
Copyright strike in 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye.
I have this.
Blues.
Oh boy.
But anyways, yeah, it's time to start closing down. This week I should have the final. This week I should have the final episode to the Super Mario World playthrough. It's us playing through Star World and the special levels, and that will be our 100% completion of that game. Hopefully, if things go right, I'll actually be able to stream tomorrow, but I'm not going to make that promise because I made it 2 weeks in a row. I haven't been able to.
What is today?
Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monday for some people who are in the future.
Yeah. Monday to whoever watched it. It might be Tuesday, Wednesday too, if it gets rewatched. Then, who knows? But yeah, that playthrough will be released either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll try to be able to get off so I can actually play 7 Days to Die with you tomorrow. Stream it.
He wants to get off and then play 7 Days to Die. I gotta love that.
Oh god damn it! Watch your words.
Look,
hey, you know what, Pin?
Whatever you want to do,
like you do.
Look, you just gotta remember that you just remember which hand is on the controller, which hand's not.
Yeah. And make sure neither one of them are sticky.
Yes. Make sure you use tissue paper before swapping hands.
Oh god.
I'll also remember learn how to dodge.
I didn't You
God damn it.
So besides from that, that's about all I've got planned. I do have a repair video being planned soon. I've been getting my overhead. I've actually got my fucking overhead cam set up. Found a way to get it set up without a fucking shelf.
Bless you.
And
sorry.
The local bar down the road has they have a little servo tray ice bucket that lights up on the bottom, and it stopped lighting up. And so while I was down there drinking one night, I just was like, hey, I could try to repair that for you guys. It's like, yeah, sure. Whenever we got a new one, we'll let you have it. If you can fix it, cool. If you can't, oh well. And it's like, okay. See what I can do, and I'll video it, and I'll give the place a shout out, and I'll give you guys a link. You guys do whatever you want with it, whether if it's fixed or not. So we'll see how that's gonna go. But I don't know when I'm going to actually do that. Don't have the actual thing in my hand, so it'll be whenever I can get it. Yeah, it'll be whenever I get the light up tray and my equipment set back up. So be looking forward to that. As far as anything else, go ahead and chill, and we'll close out. I would chill out the GNF website, but I don't know if it's been upgraded yet or not.
You can still chill it.
I always shill the same thing. Go over to gnfnetwork.com in order to get all of your GNF goodies, featuring myself, the Canadian Rogue, Draconith, and Nemo, and everybody else that we have on that kind of programming there.
If there's anything you want fixed, nag Pen till the sun comes up.
No. We're pretending that she doesn't exist. You forgot the rule.
Oh, wait a minute. I do exist. Don't I?
Wait. What's that noise?
What noise?
Love you too, guys.
But yeah, no. I'm guessing Monday will be 7 Days to Die, unless people decide to not show up, and then I'll play something else. I might do some more Kenshi.
Like I said, I'm sorry.
Are you though?
No, he's never sorry. Also, we have the other following shows that are supposed to happen. We will be doing the classic TRPC Red Pill Compendium on the Monday, following it up with a Nightburn stream on the Tuesday. Wednesday, maybe I'll have a dragon to do another Inquisition. I don't know. We'll figure that out. And then Pen, who is going to pretend that she knows how to stream. That happens on a Thursday. And then movie night, which will be an animation that a certain draconic one has pulled out of his ass, and it works within the era of the 80s, so that should be interesting. I'm going to go back to the weekend.
80s.
I know. 80s animations was interesting.
Yes, it was.
And it needs to have more airtime. That's all I can say. If you guys haven't already, head over to your local YouTube and type in 80s animation or 80s cartoon. You might be able to find some really good stuff there, whether it be in the Japanese anime or even the Western animation department. You'll still be able to find some really good things. It beats the shit that we have now.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it?
The original She-Ra always beats the new She-Ra.
Also on my BitChute side of things, on the Canadian Rogues BitChute, I have the Jabberwocky. I've got something to do with a Holy Grail and another Monty Python-esque thing up there. So you may want to head over there and see what I've got available. I'll probably put that in low bar somewhere. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I think I'll do that.
You don't know? He doesn't know, guys. He doesn't know.
Well,
it would require me to do things, Pen, and you know how I am on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
I usually kind of go, I got other people to do that who don't do that, and...
Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and start the music and start closing out. Thank you for everyone showing up today. Nice to see our regulars always come back. Always hope to see new faces. So if you want, please like and subscribe. You can join us next week. Same time, same place, the same band of misfits. Like Rip said, check out GNF Network. Give all these guys some love. And we'll see you next time. Later.
Tell me, do you have any plans?
Of course, sir. I shall do exactly as the butler does and tidy up.